pop R&B artist Jamela.
I picked Kelly. Yeah!
Handle this in the morning, please?
No, I think I want to handle this right now. You can give your time to the studio boy, but I think your man can get a few minutes. All right? Hey, don't walk away from me.
You're hurting me. Stop, please.
Get in the car.
I've been down this roller coaster, around in circles. We go trips around.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse
Real
Radio.
Talk.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Six 646-595-4038. Once again, the number is 646-595-4038. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I am the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by Dollhouse Radio and Indea Morale. And we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on blogtalkradio.com and youtube.com/the IE network and facebook.com and Twitter. So soon to be coming to you live on Spotify and all those other great podcast locations. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us here at Real Talk. And we are yet another Monday upon us. It is Monday the 12th, October the 12th, the year 2020. And we want to give a shout out, congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and all of them dudes over there in the Laker organization. They have now won the championship, the NBA championship. And that's another one for LeBron. I believe he has 4 now. So, congratulations to the Laker organization, everyone over there. Want to give a special shout out to my brother, my big brother, literally my older brother, Heaven Hollywood, Want to shout him out because he is a big time Laker fan. Always has been. Big Laker fan. So definitely want to shout out my brother, Heaven Hollywood. And all the Lakers out there, man, all Laker fans out there, all the Laker haters out there. And you know what? I really want to hold on. Let me see if I can grab this for a second. If I can get my hands on it. Want to give a shout out to all of those people, but I really want to give a shout out to this man right here. This man right here. There you go. There we go. There we go. I don't know what's going on here, man. Like I said, that's how deep the hate goes for the Lakers. People just gotta keep on. Someone's muting my mic. I don't know. I don't. These guys. It could be one of these. Tech nerds or something like that. Don't want me to talk about the Laker organization or LeBron James or LeBron haters. It's all good. Anyway, it ain't going to stop me from talking. So now everyone should be able to hear me now. Maddie, can you confirm that you hear me now? or anyone in the chat room. I believe now I should be back in full effect. Let's see. Let's see if we can bring Ralph in if people will hear him. Ralph, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me. Okay.
Now I can hear you.
All right. A little bit ago, I know the mic got all messed up and all that. Yeah, it's just something weird going on. Haters.
Why? Because the Lakers won last night?
Yeah, man, they be hated. These cats hated.
You know what? I was at work when the game was on, but I caught the highlights and something that LeBron James said last night that I saw the thing when he was like, respect this team, respect everything. He said, give me my damn respect. I'm sorry. I am not a big basketball fan, but the question is, what more does LeBron James have to do to earn his respect? I can't sit there and say the man hasn't done enough. He more than has earned the respect. More than.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, 10 NBA finals, 4 titles, 4 MVPs, and don't forget, even while he was playing professional basketball, he's still participating in the Olympics.
Yep.
I mean, come on. What more does the man have to do? Give that man the respect that he has rightfully earned.
Right.
I'm not
He's not just asking for respect.
Right. He's earned it. I'm not sitting now. Now the question is he the greatest basketball player of all time? I'm sorry. That's in the modern era. That's still Jordan.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's here's the deal, and I agree with you. I always said Jordan, as I was blessed enough to be around, just like you, to see both eras. I saw the Jordan era, and I've been seeing the LeBron era, and yes, I still say Jordan. However, people have their right to argue it if they want. That's their, some people, especially the younger people, didn't really see. It's different to watch Jordan on TV or watch Jordan in archives and repeats and actually experience Jordan when it happened,
right?
As it was happening. It's two different things.
63 in the Boston Garden, his first playoff appearance when he just took over, and you was like, oh my God, this guy is the real. That's when I gotta say, oh my God, this guy is the real deal. He dropped in 63 on the Boston, and I think at the time, the Boston Celtics were the reigning NBA champs. He dropped 63 on them in a playoff game.
Yeah.
That's when you said, yeah, he's somebody to be worried about. Now, like I said, there's other players in the modern era beyond Jordan. Like I would say right now, it would have to be Jordan, probably Kobe, and then LeBron. But don't forget about people like David Robinson. Don't forget about him. Because he belonged, and then people that may not have a title like John Stockton and Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Pat Ewing, they certainly belong in that realm of great people of the modern era. All time, I still think all time, you're gonna call it all basketball. I still think that's Wilt Chamberlain.
I have to go with. Maybe I'm a little biased to the Lakers, but I got to go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He leads the all-time leading scorer in the history of the game. He's got several MVPs, all of the stuff that everyone. And it's funny how everyone kind of just jumps over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he's the all-time leading scorer. Period.
And even to a degree, people forget about Magic Jordan. I mean, Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the younger generation, they have never saw him, but you can't forget about Magic because, and let me give you guys a quick education, and don't that the younger, without before Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird brought basketball back from the edge of extinction, really. Mm-hmm. Those two guys were primarily responsible for the resurgence of basketball. Everybody else is later.
In the mainstream, most definitely.
Those two guys brought it back.
They were the two. They at that point in time, they were those two stars that the NBA could lean on, focus on. The NBA
did not have
and make crap ton of money from the whole Bird versus Johnson, Magic versus Bird. They had a game. They had a video game, Magic versus Bird. I remember I had it. There was a video game called Magic versus Bird, like on I don't know what was. I don't remember what.
I think it was Commodore. I think it was the Commodore 64.
Like Commodore 64 or something like that. Yes, I'm that old, people. Commodore 64. Some of you young cats probably don't even know what that is. They're like 64. What the hell?
I know.
64. What is that?
And let's not forget about Dr. J. And let's not forget about Julius Erving either. I mean, there's a bunch of people that the generation of today either don't know about or you have never heard. I guess they're saying you don't know about, never heard of. But the basketball is bigger than Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And like I said, I don't think LeBron James, you can equate him to the greatest of all time. Even if you want to keep it in the modern era, I still think that if you go from 80s to now, that would be Jordan. If you want to go 2000s to now, I think the stronger case is Kobe Bryant. Right.
Well, I mean, most people, here's the deal. Now, LeBron James, and, we're not going to do a whole basketball thing, but, LeBron James has accomplished something that none of those guys have accomplished. Number one, he, like you said at the top of the show, he's made it to 10 finals. He made to 8 straight finals. 8 years straight.
That's do you know how hard it is to get to
3 different teams when you think about it? And but every team he went to, when he went there, he took them to the finals, and when he left, they went to shit. You know what I'm saying? So that proves he wasn't just joining a stacked team, because when LeBron James left those teams, what did they do? You got to give credit to the coach of Miami and the front office of Miami for rebuilding yet again and finding themselves back in the finals, because after LeBron first left, they didn't do nothing. They tried to do with Bosh and Wade after LeBron left, and Bosh got hurt, and then that was the end of that. Cleveland went to crap. LeBron James, his first season with Cleveland, he took the most garbage team probably ever to the finals. If they lost, but the bottom line is that team shouldn't even have been there. Nope. Literally, and this is no knock on. Shout out to Delonte West. We know that he was, but literally, that's the guy that LeBron James took to the finals. He was on the first team that LeBron James took to the finals. This dude is literally, well, not no more. He was literally homeless. The guy was just walking around. And like I said, not to equate that to that, but my point is this. He's by far no superstar player. It was guys like that LeBron James took to the finals. So, and when you look at his teams, yes, he had, in the later years, of course, he had the big three with Wade and Bosh, but they all decided to go there together. Wade was already there. Wade already had a championship. He had, he had 2, I think, right? Like 2, yeah.
I think,
one.
He
already had the chip.
2.
So the bottom line is, they all came there and made that as a decision, right? So that's fine. LeBron James is a hated player for a lot of reasons. Most people, let's be honest though. Jordan was a hated player. You're hated when you're great. Great players are hated. It's just that plain and simple, because if he doesn't play for your team, you're going to hate him.
That's why
I have no problem with that.
That's why all y'all out there are always hating on the Cowboys. I don't understand. I've never understood. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Mm-hmm. Right? I have never in my entire life understood, and I don't care what team you root for. When you say I hate the Dallas Cowboys, and say, okay, what's wrong with it? You say, well, I just hate them. That's not a reason.
Well, that happens all the time. People kind of, what happens is it becomes a culture, and people just fall into it. Same thing with the Patriots. Everyone says,
but you have
my son's a diehard Patriot fan, right? And he used to ask the same question: why do people hate the Patriots so much? Well, you know why they hate them? Because they win. They're a great organization, and they win. Now Dallas ain't won none in a while, but I think it's more so as this. What happens is fans don't just really hate the team. What they really hate is the fans of that team. That's what it is.
No,
it is. It is.
Nah.
They can't. No, I'm giving you an answer. You're saying, why do people hate a team and can't explain why they hate them? Well, I'm gonna tell you, from a man who has grew up in New York, hating the New York Yankees. I'm a Mets fan. I've always been a Mets fan. Obviously we're the little brothers to the New York Yankees. We're always getting beat down by the, they put us in a headlock and a noogie and give us a wedgie. That's what the Yankees do to us as Mets fans. But the Mets, I realized when I stepped back and looked at it, I'm like, I don't hate the Yankee players. I hate the Yankee fans. That's what I said. The fans is who I hate. Why? Because, whatever reason, like the Mets fans have their reasons for hating the Yankees, other than the fact that their team is better than ours. The Yankee fans, they think they're entitled, they're pompous, they think that they can, every time they're entitled to a championship and this, that, whatever you want to call it. So, and here's the funny thing. The Yankee fans, for whatever reason, hates the Met fans. And why? We never beat y'all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all should just be like, not worried about
the Mets. Not for all you Yankee fans, but let me tell you something. One of the best World Series ever was Yankees versus Mets, the Subway Series. That was one of the best World Series ever.
Yeah.
Right? It had all kinds of drama and hell. All you had to do was take a train to go from one city to the other city. You didn't have to go cross country.
Yeah.
All you had to do was take a train. So stop hating on the Mets.
No.
But that part with the fans thing.
I say. Then Shannon Claudio says we are entitled.
But at least
see, Shannon, what's up, Shannon? Big up to Shannon. Thanks for joining the room. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why we hate the Yankees.
At least she's honest. And I will take that. But it always seems that when I say I'm a Cowboy fan, people say I hate the Cowboys. No one has ever given me a real clear-cut reasons why you hate the Cowboys.
I'm telling you why they. That's a perfect segue to bring Kevin in. Kevin has a reason to hate the Cowboys because he is in your division. He is a Washington Redskins fan.
But you know something.
He has a reason to hate the Cowboys.
But even with that
one, I don't know.
Even with that one. Yes, the Giants are in the same division as the Cowboys. I don't hate the Giants. I do think that now I will say this. I do think at the times in the history that the Giants are overrated. Yes, they are. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. The Giants traditionally have had tremendous players. I mean, take Lawrence Taylor out of there. There are other players that have played for the Giants that have lived up or beyond what they thought. Like I love Joe Morris. I thought Joe Morris was like one of the best running backs the Giants ever had. I like Phil Simmons. I like Phil McConkey. I think there's a bunch of Giant players. But I'm not going to say I hate the Giants. I mean, yes, they are the competition, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, see, this is the reason why. This is the reason why people don't like Dallas fans. Y'all don't know how to be quiet. Y'all just keep talking.
Oh my god! Did I not? Wait,
just keep talking. God damn it!
Did I not just give the Giants some praise? And what am I getting?
Why y'all gotta hate on us? Y'all always got to hate on us. That's every Dallas fan. Why you gotta hate on us? Y'all always hating on us. Why you got to hate? Why the hate? Why you don't like us? Why you gotta hate us?
Because
you're America's team. You're America's team.
Hold on. Back up with that one. See, and I'm glad Kevin said that.
See, here it is. Here it is. Right here. Here it is.
I'm glad Kevin said that American team. Let me explain this because even myself, I didn't know this. The Dallas Cowboys never called themselves America's team. NFL Films.
No, they didn't. The fans did it. Yeah, the fans did it.
NFL Films.
No, NFL Films did that. When NFL Films used to make like the
true.
Every year the NFL Films make these things for teams, and they same way. NFL Films is the ones that started calling the Steelers defense the Steel Curtain.
What do fans say? Does it matter? Do y'all claim it? Y'all, that's the title y'all claim, right?
Same thing. The Steelers claim that the Steel Curtain. The Chargers claim theirs. The Rams. Everybody claims their nickname. Yeah. But you don't
the
hate
Cowboys are not America's team, and y'all talk to
Vikings. My Vikings, the purple people eaters. What you know? What We ain't the purple nut. We the purple something else eaters right now because we terrible. So we the purple penis eaters.
Right. Seattle.
The bottom line, Ralph. The bottom line is from junior high school all the way. I'll even say from elementary school all the way up to my grown-up years. Almost every, with the exception of you, because you really don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys. This is the most I've ever heard you talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So I won't put you in that.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I get sick and tired of when I say I'm a Cowboys fan, then I get all this hate. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. What did Dallas do to you?
I told you, I gave you the best excuse. I gave you the best explanation, Ralph. It's not the team, it's the fans, and maybe not you.
Sometimes it is the team.
Sometimes it is the team, depending on it. Jerry Jones. A lot of people don't like him. And I'll be honest with you, what I didn't like about him is what when Jimmy Johnson built you that championship team.
Yep.
And then. Yep. They get rid of him and bring in Barry Switzer, who just won with Jimmy Johnson's team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, because obviously, Jerry Jones wants to have somebody he can control. He wants to have somebody he could, he don't like people like who's individual thinkers. And I was surprised that he had Bill Parcells in there. But
in a true Dallas Cowboy fan mode, what will they say? It don't matter who the coach was. We won. We got the win. We got the W. It don't matter. It don't matter who took a place.
But not you, Ralph. Like I said, some people. And that's fine. And Joseph is in the room. He's like, hey, what happened to the movie verses? We're gonna get to it, Joseph. We're gonna get to it.
I'm gonna tell you this about that. One, most Cowboy fans will tell you the reason why the Cowboys are not doing well now is because of Jerry Jones. That's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. That's the main reason why.
That's the truth.
Right.
That's always been the case.
I feel that way.
The case.
That's always been the case. Because he's trying to do every damn thing. But like I said, we won't turn it into a sport thing. It all started when we talked about, I gave congratulations to the Lakers, and we talked about how so many people hate LeBron James. But the bottom line is, if you're not being hated on at some point in your career, you ain't doing something right. Because the greats are always hated on. Michael Jordan, everyone hated Michael Jordan. I didn't hate Michael Jordan. I wasn't a Bulls fan, but I didn't hate Michael Jordan. Everyone who was ever a Knicks fan, I grew up obviously growing up in New York. You're around a lot of Knicks fans, and they couldn't stand Michael Jordan. The Knicks fans turned on LeBron James when because of the decision. When they swore up and down that he was going to come to New York. They swore he was going to come to New York. He took his talents to Miami, to South Beach.
Miami. I'm not a basketball fan at all, but that was the funniest thing to me, boy, to see these Knicks fans just walking around here tight.
No, you know what it is? This happens all the time. I used to go to the draft all the time, right? And this is the last thing I'm going to say. We're going to move on to the movie stuff. And I know everyone came here to hear us talk about the movie stuff. I went to the draft a few years in a row, and I don't understand why the Knicks, they're the worst drafting team ever. Like, every time the Knicks would come around, and it's like, so-and-so from this place, and people are sitting around like this. What?
Who is that?
What are y'all talking about? And they're like, what? They'd be like, yo, the Knicks got the number 4 pick. Yo, we gonna get so-and-so. They draft so-and-so from Ukraine. What?
Let me tell you something, man. The last time Knicks fans was happy was when they got Patrick Ewing. That's the last time Knicks fans was really happy at the draft.
Every time they have a draft, they're like, yeah, we're going to do good this year. And then they're like, what? They don't understand what happened. Then they always draft some guy who isn't ready to play yet, but he'll play in a year or so. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing, man? But anyway, that's a later. Maybe we should do a sports show one day. But
stop hating the Cowboys. Before we start, I'm going to tell you the story real quick, right? I got a friend of mine that I do business with that used to work for the Art Rooney's organization out in Pittsburgh. right? Now, one of his things was that he had some work to do, but he had access to Three River Stadium. I'm sorry, the Steelers Stadium and the Pirate Stadium.
Yeah.
So this one summer I was out there, and I always wear a cowboy hat. Right, I don't have it on right now. It's right over there. I'll put it on in a minute. But they get
Don't bother.
He was able to give me a tour of the Steelers Stadium. Now I actually went inside of it, and I had my cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
And he actually gave me access to go into the field. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, take this picture. I'm gonna take my cowboy hat and put it on the 50-yard line and pit in the Steelers Stadium. Take this picture. He was like, Ralph, if I take that picture, you're gonna die because they're gonna kill you.
Don't do it. Now, my brother, Heaven Hollywood, big up to Heaven Hollywood. He is a Steeler fan, and he can tell you how deep the hatred for the Cowboys go against the Steelers and back and forth. And
Pittsburgh and Philly.
No, Pittsburgh got rivalries with a lot of people. They hate the Cowboys.
They hate Cleveland.
They hate Cleveland. They hate Philly. They hate Oakland. I think I think Oakland killed one of their fans. I think it was Oakland that did it, or was it Philly? There was a Steeler fan
Philly
that got killed.
I think it was Ohio
at a game.
I think it was Ohio. I mean, I think it was Cleveland. I think it was.
I gotta ask my brother. I'm almost sure it was Oakland. But we'll go from we'll figure it. I'll get it from him. He'll let me know.
Yeah, but the Steelers got a lot. They pissed a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, well they pissed a lot of people off. My brother is. I mean, they got the. Now you want to talk about annoying? They got the terrible towels that they wave. That's just annoying right there to piss everybody off. They're waving those towels in your hand, and they're the only ones that I think that have this cheer. It's a cheer that they got. It goes, chew tobacco, spit, spit, spit. If you ain't a Steeler fan, you ain't shit. That's the name. That's how the thing goes. Yo, it's hilarious. And my brother, we could be at the sports bar or we could be at a football game. He is doing that, and he's rallying all of the Steeler fans. And the one thing about Steeler fans, they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
Oh my God, my best friend. Now wait, my best friend is a Steeler fan.
They're everywhere.
And her and her
they're
kids
like the freaking beehive or something. They're everywhere.
They're all Steeler fans. So when I went to Pittsburgh, you know how many of them said, "Ralph, could you bring me back a terrible towel? Bring me back something from Pittsburgh." So I brought everybody terrible towels. You know, they took the terrible towels and they're not waving them. They stapled them to the walls in their rooms, and they're sitting in the room like Mean Joe Green gave it like you were that kid in the commercial.
Yo, man. Because I believe it's hard to get those, to get an authentic one from Pittsburgh. That's a big thing to Pittsburgh.
Go to Pittsburgh.
But, I mean, if they never been or they didn't go. Man. So anyway, let's go. Let's fast forward to the movie stuff. Gal Gadot in movie news today. Gal Gadot is she's been cast as Cleopatra.
Listen.
Wait, let me finish. So
she's about to go down the same road as Angelina Jolie.
No, here's the deal. So now Angelina in the past, Angelina Jolie was tapped to do that. I remember way back when. Remember when Sony had those emails? They pulled the Hillary Clinton, right? Yep. They had those emails that got exposed. And all of their plans was like exposed. Well, in those emails is all the way back then. Of course, Real Talk was on top.
That's what y'all get for messing with Michael Jackson, Sony.
I know, right? All of those people, we were there to report the news, of course, and that's when we found out all the way back then that they were considering Angelina Jolie to play Cleopatra, right? So. Now, what I want to do is I'm not going to spend. I don't want to spend too much time on this today because I want to actually bring it back around next week because we got time to talk about it because I want to do a little more research on some other things, involving the details of this. But Patty Jenkins is going to direct it. We know that much. Gal Gadot has been, AKA Wonder Woman, has been cast as, and we know Gal Gadot is she's not she is Israeli. That's what she is. She's not of Israeli
But
descent.
listen, they ain't even God's chosen people. So let me, I'm going to mute myself right now so I don't get the radio station in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, you get in trouble. You better mute yourself so you don't get hit with a lightning bolt. Forget it.
Whatever. So
those are facts. I ain't gonna get hit with a lightning bolt. That was a fact.
All right. So is Israeli? She's Israeli. We know that. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of research on the particular details behind this role casting or whatever. I do know that back when Angelina Jolie was announced, well, she wasn't announced. She never got to get announced because Sony's stupid behinds messed their emails up. But when they were considering Angelina, she was considering the role. I'm pretty sure her not being cast has a lot to do with the backlash that was coming. A lot to do with the backlash that came behind it. Of course, they'll tell you other things, but Angelina pretty much has the pick of what she wants to be in, right? So I'm sure when she saw or heard the back, because she was already catching backlash from doing A Mighty Heart, playing the half black woman, and I've went on record to say I thought she actually did a good job, and I did, like I said, I understood. Before everybody attacked me, I understood the reason why people got upset, because yes, they could have, and they probably should have cast a mixed actress, because there's plenty of them out there. Mm-hmm. So the woman who she was portraying in A Mighty Heart was a mix. She was half black, half white. So, they could have. That's just like, I make the same case for Zoe Saldana. They could have cast a dark skinned actress to play Nina Simone instead of casting Zoe and making her darker. You know what I mean? They could have just casted. There was plenty of dark skinned actresses that could have played Nina Simone. So I get it.
But Zoe is kind of dark already.
She's not that dark though. Zoe's not dark, really. Zoe's not dark. She's not even your complexion, Ralph. She's below, but maybe a shade lighter than you. She's not that dark. You know what I mean? So she's definitely, there's definitely actresses that was closer to the skin tone of Nina Simone, who was dark, that could have played the role and had the chops to play him as well. So
everybody said it should have been India Ari, and what makes it worse about Zoe Saldana is the fact that she already got colorism issues as it is already. She's one of those. She's one of those. Marry white and make the race better. And
right. Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If she was in her right brain, I think the only person that really could have did it was Lauryn Hill. I think she could. That could have been something she really could have sunk her teeth into. But this up here isn't right. So no,
India Ari would have made that role better than Lauryn Hill.
I don't know what India Ari's chops are though, as far as her acting chops. That's the thing. She may have fit the role better than anybody as far as the look. But there's plenty of actresses they could have gotten that could have knocked that out. Mm-hmm. But anyway, with that being said, Gal Gadot, who is Israeli, is cast as Cleopatra. She's gonna catch. I guess it's already started. If it ain't started, it's going to start. She's gonna catch that.
I'm beyond it.
She's gonna catch that backlash, man. And here's my question though. Should the backlash, should the wrath be even directed at the actors for accepting the roles? Or should the backlash be directed at the producers for
it should be directed at both. And here's why. One, because the studio has since going all the way back to even before Elizabeth Taylor. They've done this BS with portraying and trying to make, and it's been a thing that's gone on since Napoleon, even before Napoleon, but I'm not even going to go that deep with them taking Black culture and taking African culture and taking certain things and certain contributions of African countries and twisting it around, just like with Greek philosophy is not really Greek philosophy. They stole that when Alexander the Great went in and conquered, and that's why I'm tying everything together. When Alexander the Great went in and conquered Alexandria in Egypt, and Plato, Socrates, all of those dudes were a part of the Egyptian mystery system. That's where they got their stuff from, if we keep it in a buck. So going back towards Hollywood, they perpetuate the same thing. They continue to push forward this narrative of Black people ain't nothing. We ain't created nothing. We ain't did nothing. We're nothing but we're nothing but slaves and savages back in a country that was backwards when we were actually from Timbuktu. The first universities came from Timbuktu. So this is why, starting with the studios, they should be the first ones to stop the foolishness, because they know what it is already, and they just choose to continue the narrative. Then the actors should be held responsible, because the actors, you do your research before you play a role. When you do your research before you play a role, you understand where you're coming from. Now, yes, there's all this stuff about, Cleopatra was Greek. Cleopatra was Greek. She was not Greek. If anything, she was mixed. At the very least, she was
mixed. Yeah, at the very least, I would say at the very least she was mixed. There's a lot of research out there that could suggest that she was mixed, but there's no research that I actually any really valid research that shows that Cleopatra is not a Black or of Black descent or Egyptian. You want to call it Black, whatever, Egyptian. We'll say Egyptian. But we all know where Egypt is.
And to be clear, the current bloodline that occupies Egypt, that is French and Arabian blood. Those people that are there now are not of pure Egyptian descent.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna say this part. I'm not mad at Gal Gadot, because at the end of the day, she's an actress, and you want to take roles.
You do your research.
Wait, I'm gonna get to that. In the first part, she's an actor. She is an actor, and that's what she's supposed to. She's supposed to be a pro. And you're right. She is supposed to do her research on this thing. Now, if you want to raise the question, well, in consciousness, because she doesn't fit the part of who this person was in real life, should she turn down the role? That's a different topic.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a different topic. Because yes, you should turn down the role, because if you're going to, just like we do with everything else nowadays and how it always should have been, you should be choosing. Patty Jenkins in herself should be looking for, and not your favorite, but you look for an actress of descent of that, just like people who are saying right now, to use this as an example, everybody is saying that Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, should be portrayed and played by a Jewish actor. That's all that's going on across Hollywood. You got Keanu Reeves, you got all these people that could play Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, but everybody's like, listen, he should be played by an authentic Jewish actor. That's what everybody keeps saying, and I don't have a problem with that. If that's what the character was in the comics, go ahead and do that. I'm not mad at that, because honestly, white is white. It don't matter to me. But in this instance, it's time for, and this is my main problem right now. From Timbuktu to South Africa, all the way up to Egypt, it's time now that these countries start being specifically Northwest and Northeast Africa, from Egypt going all the way over to Libya. These countries need to be starting to be represented the way they're supposed to be represented. The people of these, listen, taking it all the way back to Moses. This is my problem with this. This what comes in as a problem too. Moses was sent down the Nile River in a basket. The basket that he was put in, that was weaved out of, was weaved out of leaves that are native to that region, that alligators do. The alligators avoid those. They don't like them for whatever reason, digestive reasons, whatever the case may be. and Moses was supposedly wrapped in a basket made from those leaves to keep the alligators from attacking him. Then Moses is taken into Egypt. Moses had to be of dark skin in order to be in Egypt, to pass as a son of a pharaoh, to be taken in as a son of a pharaoh. So the bottom line is show these people as they were in the times that they were in. Stop feeding us this narrative of of everything was European American and everybody was of non-melanated, was of less melanated skin, when that was not the case. Now, yes, Africans do come in many different shades and colors, but the representation should be there, and it should be represented the right way. Period.
I'm not in disagreement with that at all. I'm absolutely agreeing with you. You're absolutely right. And as Wes said, you have too many actors that possibly come from that region in their background that could play. Now, I understand Patty Jenkins. You're going to roll the dice with Gal Gadot, and I don't have anything personal against Gal Gadot. I mean, yes, she makes a very fine Wonder Woman. She may not have been the choice I thought, but okay. But here's, like I said, as an actor, you accept the job. Morally, should you turn it down? We could make the same argument for the gentleman that was in Daredevil that was picked to play a character, and he said no because I'm not the person that should be playing it. It's not me. It should be someone else. Now, my question would say you do stick with Gal Gadot. Is Gal Gadot's acting chops enough to carry this movie? I'm here to say I think
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I think she's good. I think she has a good act, but I haven't seen enough from her. I've seen quite a few films from her, but I haven't seen enough from her to well, we know she can carry a movie. Obviously, she carried.
No. She all the movies that you've seen Gal Gadot in, she's been part of an ensemble.
No. Wonder Woman wasn't an ensemble. Okay, she was the main person in that, and yes, you had Chris Pine, but she carried that movie.
But even with her being
that guy could have been anybody playing that character.
I was about to say, she has most of the movies she has been in. She's in part of an ensemble. Yes, she was in Wonder Woman, but let's take that out because that's a superhero movie that people wanted to go see. Will people want to go see Gal Gadot as Cleopatra?
Oh, I don't know. But I think if they don't, it's because of some of the things that Kev brought up. Now I want to bring this up. Now we talked about actors that are out there. I'm looking up actors of Egyptian descent. You know, Remy Malek is one of them that came up. Obviously, he's a dude, but maybe he might make his way into this.
He can't play Cleopatra. Sorry,
he can't play Cleopatra. That's for sure. But he could play one of the dudes in there, right? But here's someone, and I know Kev. I remember Kev used to talk about her all the time. Yasmin Al-Masari, who from Quantico. Mm-hmm. There you go, Egyptian.
but again, even with her, she's of more of Arabian descent.
But Kev, wouldn't that be a better choice though?
No, it wouldn't be a better choice, and here's why. I want to state 2 points. One point that I want to state back at Gal Gadot is the fact that the reason why, especially for Gal Gadot, why she shouldn't play this role is because almost every role that Gal Gadot has played, if you go back and look at her history on most of the roles she's played an Israeli. When she was in Fast and the Furious, she plays Israeli. When she was in the other movie with the I forget the name of the movie, but there was another movie that she was in where she was where she had the black boyfriend, and she was a part of the Israeli mob or the Jewish mob, the Jewish Russian mob. She was Israeli in that, or of Jewish descent in that. So she's known for playing her nationality when she plays in roles. Mm-hmm. So that just from that alone, that sets that aside. But on top, what puts the icing on the cake of why she shouldn't do it, go back and look at all the hieroglyphics and the drawings that are on the wall of every Egyptian inscriptions that are on Egyptian walls. Look at those. What are those people depicted as? What are their skin color? Mm-hmm. Between Wes's complexion and our complexion, Ralph.
Right. Well, I mean, but see, with that argument being said, then Yasmin Al-Masari, she falls in that complexion.
No, she doesn't.
She does. I'm looking at her right now in a picture. She falls right in. She's my complexion. She falls right in that.
Looking at the hieroglyphic,
the guy who played Aladdin. He's another one who's got he's got like bronze type of skin or whatever.
No,
he was born in Cairo.
They're more olive skinned. I'm talking about
if you go back and look at darker.
Egyptian. If you go back and look at Egyptian hieroglyphics, they were black people. They were purely melanated people.
I get what you're saying. I'm just talking about from a skin tone perspective.
If we're talking about skin tone and we're talking about keeping it authentic to the time period of the Egyptian rule, there were no mixed Arab black Egyptians back in that time.
Mm-hmm. But Kev, with that being my two questions. With that being said, you may want it to be that way, but my first question: would that even be, in today's time period? Would that even be possible to cast someone that is strictly of that could harken back to that time? And if you think there is, who do you think should play the role?
I don't have anybody actually in mind of who could play the role. I just know they should.
I'm actually tired of seeing that. I'm tired of people keep going back. There's, you know what, Egypt, Africa, all of this just got a lot of stories. I am tired of the same stories over and over again. Honestly, why are we seeing this in the first place?
Here's the reason why you're seeing it. Because Hollywood has to keep up the narrative, especially with everything that's going on now. They have to keep up the narrative of we got to keep black people in their place. It's just like American history. All the stuff we're starting to find out that people who didn't know are starting to find out about American history and black contributions and stuff that was done to black people. It's the same thing. It's the suppression of the black story.
Right.
Like I said.
Well, see, now with that perfect segue, Kev. Now, my question to that is, this is not per se to you, but my question to put out there is, based on what you just said, the constant suppression of black stories, but wouldn't it be, or don't you feel it should be, the obligation of we've talked about this before, some of our black gatekeepers to tell these stories the way they're supposed to be told?
Again,
we're leaving it in the hands of white Hollywood to tell stories. They're not going to tell a story. Here's the reason why. You have to go around them. Just like Danny Glover for years tried to tell the story, and I will continue to harp on this because, again, this is a perfect example of what Hollywood does, and we saw them do it to Birth of a Nation. You saw them do it the Homeboy with Birth of a Nation. Yeah, exactly.
They have to crush that.
Here's the problem. He didn't have nobody stepped up for him, though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
nobody stepped up.
Nobody stepped up for him.
Nobody stepped up. Tyler, the gatekeepers, the Tyler Perrys of the world. And I'm not calling them out directly, but the Tyler Perrys of the world, the Oprahs. You know what I'm saying? The black gatekeepers, the few that there are in the business, none of them stepped up for him.
But again, at that stage in time, Tyler Perry didn't have it to really stop him. Tyler Perry was still trying to get his stuff 100% tight to get to where he is now.
Well, like I said, I didn't mean to single him out, but I'm just saying the few gatekeepers that because
Oprah
step up.
I'm gonna tell you, here's why. Oprah and them are never going to step up because of the fact they are in league and in the same pockets as these European Americans and as most of these Jewish European Americans that run Hollywood. Well, they are in league with them. They're not about. Listen, for the cameras.
We know that, but all I'm saying is that goes without saying, Kev. But what I'm doing is, this is conversation, right? So when you say like that, it's suppression. We already know about that, though. We already know that Hollywood has been doing that for decades. They've been doing it since Hollywood started. The first Cleopatra movie starred Elizabeth Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but listen. But here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying
a bunch
is,
of people that were
just like with Danny Glover was trying to tell the true story about the Haitian Revolution, and and blacks rising up. That they don't want to, especially not in the United States. They don't want the truth to be known about that. How the U.S. Because if you want to get to the nitty gritty about it, the United States helped France. Help France. Right now, to this day, Haiti is paying reparations to France.
I know they're still paying reparations to this day. No, but here's the deal. I'm gonna go a little deeper not deeper. I'm gonna be a little harder on everybody though, because like I said before, especially in this day and age, and I give credit to Danny Glover for trying to do what he's trying to do. But for the people that could have helped him and helped, oh my God, what's the gentleman's name who made Birth of a Nation? The actor.
His name escapes me. Yeah. I know. We know
Parker, something Parker, right?
Parker. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something Parker. I forget his first
name. Yeah, Mr. Parker. Yes, his last name is Parker.
Nate Parker.
Yeah, Nate
Parker. Who made now? What I'm saying is, I have to start looking at the people who are, who they consider the very few black gatekeepers that are out there now with today's day and age and technology and things like that. You don't have to rely on and as we talked about this last we talk about it every week, the movie theater experience along with all of that stuff. Of course, the big production companies are still going to be there, but you don't have to rely on it as much no more because of the way technology is, the way we can deliver and distribute material. But even with that being said, no one is stepping up to do it. That's where I'm holding everybody accountable for that. You can't go on forever. I'm not going to go on forever blaming Hollywood, because we already know what Hollywood is. We already know what they are.
Well, listen. So see, here's my point though. You have people like Ryan. You have people like Ryan Coogler who wants to. He wants to do. He's been talking about this for the last couple of years. He wants to do a story about Mansa Musa.
Right, but he's making. But see, you see what I'm saying. But Ryan only got like 4 or 5 films under his belt. He's making his way up to where he can get to the point where he can maybe either, if he can't fund it himself, he'll be able to get somebody to get behind him, like a money person to get behind him to make the film.
Because the problem is, I think a lot of these people think it's career suicide. They're more worried about their career than the advancement, than the advancement of their people in the industry, which is the reason why Tyler Perry made the move. The reason why Tyler Perry made the move that he made. Now,
which everyone should have followed him. They should have followed his blueprint. The people who didn't follow,
should have followed his blueprint.
They should have followed his blueprint. The people who didn't follow his blueprint are the ones, even as they're the ones that have to, like you said, they got to kind of roll with the punches. Because let's be honest, from we're on this side of the coin as well. From a filmmaker standpoint, especially if you're a really, all these directors, they're basically all freelance filmmakers. That's what you are. You don't have a steady check coming in. You don't have you don't punch a clock. So you're as good as your last film. And your next film is where your food comes from. So,
but see, here's the thing: if Hollywood doesn't want that story,
think twice about that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's when you have to get creative with it, because then this is when you start leaning on your European American allies. You start leaning on your George Lucases who are married to black women who will push that narrative.
Yeah. And he did it himself with the Red Tails. You know what I mean? Like, that was his. But that was him who directed
and Hollywood didn't want him to make that.
They didn't want him to make that. They did not want him to make Red Tails about the why is all this stuff? The Tuskegee Airmen. So yes, exactly. No, I agree with you. But that's where they have to come to and say, okay, look. This is what we need to do. Someone like a Ryan Coogler who is like kind of building up his his clout, his resume, whatever, maybe he can be the one to turn to someone like a Tyler Perry or turn to someone like the problem with Tyler is Tyler want to have control of everything. That's the problem with Tyler Perry. He want to write every damn thing and stuff like that. See, that's where everyone's gonna they're gonna bump heads there because Tyler wants to write everything. No. You can't write everything. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that you can't contribute to telling Black stories. You know what I'm saying? Or African American stories or African stories for that matter. Any of those things. So
and unfortunately with Tyler, unfortunately for him, his films and his movies are always from a female perspective. He never really takes it 100% from a male perspective.
No, only film that and that was a film he didn't write. The film that he was in with the novels with the I don't know why all of these things are escaping
For Colored
me today.
Women? I mean, for Colored
No. When he was playing the novels, you know what I'm talking about, like the Kiss the Girls and all of that.
Alex Cross.
Like the Alex Cross novels, I mean, when he played in that, which he didn't write that, he was just acting in it. But it's crazy. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna jump on to the verses because this is a little longer verses this week because these dudes catalogs is just they got too much heat to leave stuff out, man. And I still left stuff out. So, but we'll like I said, I want to come back to the Gal Gadot Cleopatra thing probably next week because I want to do a little more research and do some more. I want to also bring some suggestions. That's a good question, Ralph, that you asked. Who do you think? Who would you have play it? And I'm with Kev right now. I ain't got nobody. You know what I mean? So I have to do a little research. And
my girl, the girl who I always talk about. I think she could play it, but it's someone that has that kind of background. I can't think of nobody right now.
Because
there's a bunch of people that you say look on paper, physically, or this. Yeah, they could play it, but would it be traditional? No. And I think that's part of the problem when you have certain type of historical film that you want to do to really be authentic. Cast someone, you got to find somebody that fits the basics, which is have that particular background, and perhaps it's someone that you can't find, so you have to go to the alternate. Now,
well, you may have to. It may have to be a new face. I don't care. I mean, they figure, of course, they feel like they have to cast a
Well, yeah, because you got to cast somebody unknown, so people going to want to come see it. You said
you want to cast somebody that people gonna have to come see if they're talking about doing a big film like that, so they can't just cast an unknown. I agree. I get it. Shannon said the Quantico chick. Which one? There's a couple of them. But anyway.
Priyanka Chopra. I mean,
So I think she got the chops. She ain't got the chops for it. I love her to death.
But she's Indian. She is not African. She is Indian. She is not African.
Right. And she's Indian. But I mean, regardless, Kev, I'm talking also about other reasons as well. I'm talking about the fact that I don't know if her chops.
If you're taking the role of an African, get an African to play it. Period.
Yeah, well, like I said, Black Panther didn't get all Africans either. But that's
now, with that being said, would you cast what's her name? Lupita. Would you cast Lupita as Cleopatra? She certainly fits that bill. Certainly fits the bill.
Well, I mean, she's the name. She has the name for it. And she's African.
Yeah, and she's African, but she doesn't. But she's not. Listen, Cleopatra was, and don't get me wrong, Lupita is a beautiful woman, but Cleopatra is. There's a reason why they keep going for these high yellow, not black, not because they don't understand the beauty of blackness. And again, she doesn't have to be Sudan black, because the people of Egypt weren't Sudanese black. That's a whole nother kind of dark skin.
Right.
They were mostly brown. And they were dark complexion people, but they were mostly brown people. What is the problem? What is the problem?
I mean,
why can't we? I'm
there's plenty of.
I'm getting my feelings. I'm getting my feelings. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm muting myself.
I can see getting in your feelings. So, like I said, we'll come, but you're gonna have to get back in your feelings when we come back to this next week.
Because
we're gonna. I want to really dig into it because, and it has nothing to do with anything, and it definitely has nothing to do with Gal Gadot, lover. But the bottom line is, I want to, dig more into the. We just don't have the time to dig into it today. But
because I guarantee you right now. I guarantee you right now. If you take an Israeli story and take somebody that's not Israeli and put them in that story, they'll be wigging the fuck out.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Why you couldn't get an Israeli? But mind you, if we tell the truth about Bible stories and about the region where those people came from, you know what? I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
I'm a pause. So. The views of Kevin Yulee do not reflect the views of Real Talk Radio.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
Thank you for the disclaimer, Kev. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to move on to our movie versus.
Yeah, man. Let me just say off the bat, man. I don't like this movie verse. I'm just going to say that right now.
Why? Why don't you?
I don't know why. Right now I just feel like I want to just throw some unnecessary shade somewhere, and that's what I'm doing today. I don't like this, sir.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, well, sorry, not sorry, but anyway, so we'll go start right up this movie versus, and for all of those who might be tuning in for the first time, we're doing the movie versus. Everyone knows the format of the versus. Just like they've been doing on Instagram for the last whatever months. We're taking two actors and we're pitting them against each other. 20 of their best films in this case, because these actors have such a vast catalog. We're doing 25 instead of 20. And we'll be pitting them against each other, and we'll be kind of judging them based on the criteria of the film itself, the acting job that was done in the film by the actor, and like their performance, and we can also judge the character that they played. So it's like, was it a complex character? Was it a cool character? Was it an evil character? Whatever, and also what they did with the character that they played. So these are the ways that we kind of judge some of the things, and it's obviously we have the three of us, so therefore there won't be any ties. That's why there may be a tie in the whole thing here, but
no, there won't be no tie.
It won't be a tie.
It's 25.
It's 25. So it's not an even thing. So it won't be no ties, which is kind of a good thing because we don't want that happening. But I don't think that was gonna happen tonight anyway. We'll see. So tonight we've already done. We started off versus. We did it. We started with what? So round one we did. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah.
And Stallone won.
Right.
He won the tiebreaker. Week 2, we did Al Pacino versus Robert De Niro.
De Niro won.
De Niro won on a tiebreaker, just like before that. Week 3, we did. What did we do for week 3?
Julia Roberts versus Sandra Bullock.
Julia Roberts versus Sandra Bullock.
And that was a landslide.
That was our first landslide. Sandra Bullock drugged Julia Roberts. She won 15-5 or something?
Yeah, 15-5. I just felt like I wanted to go find Julia Roberts and give her a hug or something. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But you got your ass whipped.
And that was week 3, right? Then we just did. What did we do last week?
We didn't do
it's
one.
Week 4. Okay,
week 4.
Okay, last week was Sandra Bullock. Okay, cool. See, I'm just losing my mind here. But so this week we have Brad Pitt versus Tom Cruise. And as I'll share my screen here and bring up the verses, so you guys can get a look at what we're gonna be dealing with here. the moment we all been waiting for, right? Joseph. He's like, when are y'all doing the verses? We sitting there talking about sports, Cleopatra. He's like, when is the movie verses gonna start? So, yeah. So
when Hollywood gets their shit together, that's when it's gonna start.
Well,
wait, before we start,
in that case, it ain't never gonna.
We ain't never getting it together. But before we start, I just gotta say one thing real quick. I know we were supposed to talk about the Emmys. I just wanted to tell everybody. I told you all that Zendaya was gonna win that Emmy for Best Actress, and she did. I knew.
Oh yeah, she did. She did.
So
and I still haven't. I haven't checked that show yet.
I love that show, but I'm telling everybody, if next year when they do the Emmys, Michael K. Williams, right? That's on Lovecraft County. If you haven't seen Lovecraft County, start watching because he's going to win his Emmy for last night's show. Last night's show, he's going to win an Emmy for. If you haven't seen that show, it's one of the best shows. It's really one of the shows of the summer, of the year, that saved this year. Start watching Lovecraft County now.
Country, man. Lovecraft Country, Ralph.
Lovecraft Country.
You gonna have him looking for the wrong show.
I know.
They gonna be like, I can't find a Lovecraft County.
I know. Lovecraft Country. Start watching it now. Not now. Well, not now because we're doing this. But when it's over, then start watching it. You're gonna love it. Last episode is Sunday, and I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. So,
let me take my shot.
Said that
and it's juice. It's juice, everybody. It's not. It's juice.
Shannon in this chat room says she can't see it. Do you mean you can't see the verses? You can't. Oh, she probably says she can't see because of the different. We're gonna read it off, so don't worry about it, Shannon. If you can't see the names, whatever. Okay, so Tom Cruise, Mr. Tom Cruise over here. Which quick note right before we get into it, just so there's the rumor mill has been buzzing that Tom Cruise is going to. It's almost a done deal from what I'm hearing from this so-called rumor mill. There's almost a done deal that Tom Cruise will appear in the MCU as none other than Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Now, before anyone jumps out of the window and say, what? Let me explain. That is because that goes all the way back to before Iron Man even existed. Now, he was the front. Everyone should know. Well, they don't know. He was the front runner to play Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. It's funny. It's funny as it sounds. It sounds weird to say this. Yeah, I know. It's weird to say this, but the studio almost settled for Robert Downey Jr. because they wanted other people. But it's funny to say that now because he completely killed the role. But so yeah, if he's going to do this is kind of like he will appear in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So it's going to be a multiverse version of Tony Stark. So, and the reason why, just kind of like what they're going to do, I believe what they're going to do with Jamie Foxx, bringing him back from the Sony version of Amazing Spider-Man Part 2 as Electro. They're bringing him into the MCU version of Spider-Man as Electro. But I believe because Doctor Strange is supposed to make an appearance in that film. So I believe it's going to be a multiverse thing as well. But anyway, the multiverse version of Tony Stark,
which all ties to Wanda, and it all ties to
WandaVision. Yeah, that's all going to tie into WandaVision. So that's going to be, and we, for people who may or may not know how the multiverse theory works, that you might have in situations people who are supposed to be the same person, but it's actually like a different person. You know what I mean? But it's supposed to be that same person.
Except for me. Except for me, I'm special. There's only one of me across the whole universe. I jump between spots. I'm the only person that can do that. Nobody else can do that. I just want to
Okay,
make that
he
clear.
could jump between
God body.
between universes.
They did that. So I'm talking about Lovecraft Country. Did that? Yo, that is referred to in the last 2 weeks episode, the multiverse.
Yeah,
A
multiverse.
It's referred to in that show for the last 2 weeks. So
Yeah, multiverse. So him playing him. They've always wanted Tom Cruise to be into the MCU, and preferably as Iron Man at first. Obviously now that seems like out of the question, right? But the fact that Robert Downey's Tony Stark is dead. Spoiler alert! If you've never seen Endgame, oh well, should have. Shame on you. So now bringing Tom Cruise in to play Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, would be their way of kind of fulfilling something that they wanted to do way back then. So that's just a little nugget I want to throw in there, and we get to the show or get to the competition. So Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt. As we know, all of these, I usually start in the same fashion of I start with like some of their first films. It may not be their very, very first film, even though I think Thelma and Louise was his first film, but that's besides the point. It'll be pretty much their first film that people kind of recognize them in. Going down to and I usually end it around like their most recent films. And then somewhere in the middle, I just match up films that may be similar, may not be. Some of them may not be similar at all because, Brad Pitt, he was the eye candy in a lot of movies, a lot of female-driven movies and stuff like that. And so it depends, we'll see. So let's get started.
You're being a Dallas Cowboy fan right now. Let's get to it. Let's stop all the yapping. Let's get to it.
I gotta get everybody. I gotta get everybody up to speed.
Damn Giant fans. Giant fans.
He's not even a Giant fan. He's a Redskin fan. Matter of fact, you don't need to say nothing. You don't even have a name. Your team don't even have a name yet right now.
Yes, we are. We are the Washington football team. Thank you very much.
That's not a name. That's the name.
Let's stick to the versus Minnesota. Let's stick to the versus Minnesota.
At least we got a name. At least we got a name. Skull.
At least we got a logo. Man,
Skull.
the
Vikings.
Football team. That's what you guys were called on Tecmo Football for the Nintendo. You need to stop. You need to be embarrassed if people said that.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so anyway, number one, Tom Cruise, The Outsiders versus number one, Brad Pitt, Thelma and Louise.
Outsiders.
30 seconds.
Outsiders.
Okay, Kev's going with The Outsiders. Let's see.
Man, I love The Outsiders, but in this case, I gotta go with him and Thelma and Louise, man, because he banged Gina Davis at the time when she was young, and he did it kind of cool. When she was hot, and he did it kind of cool. So I gotta go with that one. Thelma and Louise.
Well, listen, I'm just talking off a sheer performance. Later for who he banged. Let's just talk about sheer performance.
Well, I'm talking about
just cultural, just sheer. Listen. The Outsiders, just the cast. Go ahead, Ralph.
Well, I agree. The Outsiders, the cast alone is like, wow, you can't beat it. But if you're talking about Tom Cruise's role in The Outsiders versus Brad Pitt in Thelma and Louise, I had to go with Brad Pitt because Tom Cruise is in The Outsiders, but he barely does anything in the movie except really the fight at the end. At least Brad Pitt is throughout. Throughout Thelma and Louise, and yes, he did bang Gina Davis. And that's not the selling point, but but like that whole bit where he was telling her how he robs people, he
put on a better performance in my opinion as well. Only because his role seemed to be a little bit meatier, I guess.
It had more depth to it.
It had more depth to it, and he had that. Yeah, so that's why I'm going with Thelma and Louise as well, and that will give Brad Pitt the first win. Okay, round number 2, Risky Business, Tom Cruise versus Cool World, Brad Pitt. Cool World, if you don't remember, people, is kind of like the bootleg version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
I'm just joking. But I'm joking. But meaning You know,
You
Brad
wanted
Pitt
you
played
wanted
the
Tom you wanted Tom Cruise you wanted Tom Cruise to win this one.
No,
That's
no,
all
no.
I'm
I'm no. That was literally on their list. That was that was the second film after these first films that was on their list, so I went with it. So, Cool World versus Risky Business.
Like I said, you wanted Tom Cruise to win.
Yeah, I'm going Risky Business with this one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Cool World sucks. I'm sorry, Cool World sucks. You know.
So, 1-1. Okay, number 3. All the Right Moves. Tom Cruise versus A River Runs Through It. Brad Pitt.
Man, that's a tough one. Because I mean,
come on, Ralph, say your word. Cutthroat.
It is cutthroat. I mean, I really like Tom Cruise in All the Right Moves. I mean, it was a smaller movie, but River Run Through It. I mean, I don't know if it's an ode to fly fishing or what. Like, I was like, huh? No, I mean, River Run Through It made fly fishing look like it was the bomb. Like you just had to be out there fishing, and I was like, no, it's really boring.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Tom Cruise because I'm a football guy, you know.
Yeah, I guess maybe I was kind of into that film a little bit more. I think Tom Cruise put a nice performance in it. I'm also going with All the Right Moves, Tom Cruise. And Kev, who did you have? By the way, well, Cruise wins, but who did you have anyway?
I'm moving with the crowd.
Okay, so next, number 4.
I just gotta say something here real fast. You know, there's a movie. I'm actually looking at the list. There's a movie here that Tom Cruise was in that is not on this list that he doesn't really get the credit for, but he really should.
Vanilla Sky.
Hell no. No. No.
What are you talking about?
Come on.
No, it's this movie called Losing It, where like one of these with him and Jackie Earl Haley and Shelley Long, where they take a trip down to Mexico, to Tijuana, where he winds up hooking up with Shelley Long. Yeah. I like that movie. It was funny, and it was pre Risky Business. It was still in the same time when that and Zapped and all them all those whacked out teen movies were coming out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, look, I put 25 on the list, and it's still some films that was left off because I think I left did I leave the Mexican off for Brad Pitt?
You did what? You did what?
Yeah, I left
that.
If
it didn't work,
and the Mexican.
If it didn't work, look, if the Mexican didn't work for Julia Roberts, it's not going to work for Brad Pitt. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So we got number 4, Legend, versus number 4, California.
Oh,
that's good. I'm going with California.
Well,
just letting y'all know that. I think
I'm going with Legends because I'm a fantasy guy and I love that movie. And
Brad Pitt killed
I love
that role in California.
Yeah, Brad Pitt killed it, but I'm kind of agreeing with Kev. I'm going with Legend. I think it's a really slept upon Tom Cruise movie that you know, I mean, it came out the same time as Top Gun. I guess is why I got something, but he was really good in it, you know, and he doesn't really do fantasy type movies. This I think it's like the only one he's ever done.
Yeah, and he didn't come off as campy or out of place. He actually he actually fit the role.
He did his thing. It's funny, and I'm not a fantasy guy, but I was back then where that was one of the films that I did watch back then, along with, you know, like in that era, like The Never Ending Story and stuff like that. Like I was never a big fantasy guy. Like that never was my thing. Pan, Labyrinth, you know,
damn good movie.
Yeah.
Damn good movie.
Yeah. Those are the ones that I watched from back then. But then when it got, you know, more like fantasy, just, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna go into that. We don't have the time. But
anyway, I didn't mean Pan's Labyrinth. I meant Labyrinth.
It was just called Labyrinth. Yeah, Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was good too. But Pan's Labyrinth is a damn good movie.
Yeah, Pan Labyrinth. Listen, what's his face did the damn thing on that. He directed the hell out of that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So okay. So Tom Cruise wins that one with Legend. Number 5, Top Gun versus number 5, 7.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna say this. You get this right now, man.
Listen,
Y'all you need to stop using my word cutthroat because that's unfair.
Listen,
that's unfair.
Listen. No, this wasn't cutthroat. This was straight guillotine. Listen,
yo, this is how we do.
Listen,
this is how we do.
Listen. But here's what kills it. Here's what kills it. Brad Pitt in the middle of a desert field, opening up a box, and the expression on his face.
Lord,
what's in the box?
Listen, I don't care. Listen. What's in the box? What's in the box? No. Morgan Freeman. No.
Don't look. He tried to stop him. Yo, that movie was so excellent. But I mean, Brad Pitt.
The one time in life that I wish. This is the one point in movie cinema history that I wish was real life, because he just unloaded on Kevin Spacey ass, and I wish that would have happened in real life. You perv.
Man, yeah. I'm gonna tell you. You know how many times I've seen 7 where I have had to use the pause button and go that in frame by frame to see Gwyneth Paltrow's, like, what was that flash when it did it? Like, yo, what was that? And I had to keep going like this to see that it was her face. Man,
no, it was that. I mean that. Wow, 7 is
man.
The movie was crazy.
Listen, I don't know why you put that up against Top Gun.
Because those at that point in time, those were their 2 biggest movies. That's why. That's why I put them up against each other.
Yeah, but in this case, this is like a beat by Timbaland versus a beat by RZA, and you know I love the RZA. But this is like dust off your shoulders compared to 36 Chambers.
Right.
Listen,
exactly.
Cream going up against Cream. Like,
so no.
Cream was the joint. But I'm going with Brad Pitt on this one because I
think this is going to be a sweep. Yeah, this one's going to be a Brad Pitt sweep.
Yeah.
This one is going to 7. As much as, oh my God, big up to my man Ant, my cousin Ant. I'm telling you right now, I could probably tell you word for word every line in Top Gun. We watched that movie so many times. Times. I listened to the soundtrack of Top Gun. All right.
Yes, I'm admitting that.
I listened to the soundtrack.
No. Wait. What did you say? Did you just say yes? You're admitting that?
Yes,
There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I want to say something right quick on that. Let me tell and this goes out to the rest of Black America. Y'all need to stop trying to clown us Black Americans, us very proud Black Americans that are into rock and pop, that love those 80s soundtrack movies. Because guess what? Secretly, some of y'all are in y'all bedrooms singing and dancing with socks on, sliding across your new carpeted floors. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, That the Top Gun soundtrack is one of the best ones in the 80s to me. And I love it. I love that. Footloose, Flashdance, Top Gun, and the Transformers animated movie.
Yep.
Those are to me the best. For the best. And throw in the Lost Boys. I like the Lost Boys soundtrack as well.
Soundtrack is so too, yeah.
But to me, those ones I mentioned before are some of the best soundtracks ever. So. So anyhow, we got that's a sweep 7, but I love Top Gun, but we had to go against it that time. Cutthroat number 7. Rain. No, I'm sorry.
Stop taking my statement, man. Y'all gotta stop using that word. Cutthroat.
Number 6. Cocktail. Tom Cruise versus number 6. The Legends of the Fall. Brad Pitt.
Oh man. Wow. I'm going with Legends of the Fall.
Man. Cocktail. Legends of. You know what? I'm sticking with my gun. I'm taking Cocktail. Cocktail.
Legend of the Fall was dope. Cocktail was dope. What did I like about Cocktail? Well, I mean, I liked a lot about it, but I'm talking about straight performance. So we go character for character. I think Brad Pitt's character was better in Legends of the Fall.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Cocktail the movie better. I did like
as far as dramatic,
right? As far as
dramatic performance,
right? The dramatic performance of Brad Pitt. I'm just gonna give it to Brad Pitt. I am okay. Otherwise, I'm gonna be going back and forth.
Let me tell you something.
Thank Kevin for the assist.
Wow.
You're right.
I was trying to push that one over the edge.
Oh God! But here's another big one coming. Number 7, Cruise, Rain Man versus number 7, 12 Monkeys.
I'm sorry, it's Rain Man. It's Rain Man. For me, it's Rain Man.
Yeah.
You know.
And I loved 12 Monkeys.
I did
12
too.
12 Monkeys was more about Bruce Willis than it was about Brad Pitt. Even though Brad Pitt's part in that was his role in that was good, but yo, Rain Man, listen. You had to listen. I just listen. If you ever been around anybody that's autistic or anybody that's mentally challenged, you understand what the level of patience you have to have as a human being.
Yep.
And just the sheer love that you have to have for somebody to deal with somebody who has that type of, specifically the condition that he had. That's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with. On the emotional level.
Yeah, I agree. It's he nailed that role, man. The character.
Yeah, he did.
That he had. Yeah. He really did. I mean, I really enjoyed Rain Man. And
he showed the range of emotions of love, of frustration, particularly a lot of frustration, and and inside of that, and excuse me for tearing up a little bit with this, but inside of that frustration,
there's no crying in baseball. Go ahead.
Listen, this is one. Listen. Listen, this is Rain Man is one of those movies, man, where you see. Listen, when you pray to God for patience, or let me be more specific. When you pray to God,
hold on, Kev. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to say, I'm not sure if Shannon is leaving us, but I appreciate you joining us. She's like, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Or she might just be talking about because also Miguel is on, and he Kev, when you finish your thought, I want Ralph. He said, please explain why Cocktail. So we'll come back to that. Finish your thought, then we'll come back. We'll come back to Ralph.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna make my point quick. When you pray to God for God, give me the fruit of the Spirit. And those of you who know what the fruits of the Spirit are, Rain Man is that thing as a human being that you're attested on every fruit of the Spirit.
Right.
And Tom Cruise displayed every emotion that there is when you're dealing the
with that, the frustration, the patience, all of that. Yeah.
The acceptance.
And the patience where you have to, the acceptance and just the where you and these are emotions that you deal with at the same time because you're frustrated because you're like, why won't you? And then you're like, and then that the patience and the love and all that overwhelms you because you're getting ready to get emotional and over the top, but then you got to drag it back. You got to put your patience and your love and all of that brings it right back in. So that's why that's a win for me because he displayed all of it. Tom Cruise really did it for that.
Yeah, he killed it. He wins that round. So Ralph, real quick before we move on,
I have nothing. I mean, Cocktail for me is just a guilty summertime pleasure. It came out in 1988, and at that time, supposedly it was called the cruise missile. Tom Cruise hitting stuff back to back, and it's just a guilty. Turn your brain off for an hour and a half, have a little fun. That's all it really is. I mean, but I really like, and it's one of those movies by Tom Cruise that, I mean, most of Tom Cruise movies like this. But if you see it and it's on television, no matter how long ago you saw it, you sit there and you watch it. I know what's going to happen, but it's just a guilty pleasure. That's all I can really say.
It's not a guilty pleasure. If you love it, then it's nothing guilty about it. It's something that you love. And Ralph, this is nothing against you. I hate that phrase, guilty pleasure. Oh, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. What's there to be guilty about something that you love that other people might find corny? You know what I'm saying? If you love it, embrace it, love it, and you listen. If people can't accept it.
Well, remember before,
sorry, Rob.
our fan who remains nameless because I don't want to put them on blast, but the fan, remember a few weeks ago, that was texting me saying, I can't believe you guys actually seen all these movies.
I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot
of movies. Between the three of us, we've seen all of these movies. If we, between the three of us, or all three of us have seen all of these movies.
Yeah.
That plain and simple.
We've all, and God forbid if we include Larry in this, we've forgotten more movies.
Yeah.
We probably forgot more movies than most people seen. That's the fun part about it.
That's because you guys don't know this thing called Blockbuster. You really should have got to know Blockbusters. Blockbusters would have been your friend.
Yeah.
It really would have been your friend.
So anyway, that was Rain Man versus 12 Monkeys. Rain Man wins. Let's move forward. Okay, so number 8, born on the 4th of July, Tom Cruise versus number 8, 7 years in Tibet. Brad Pitt.
Oh, 7 years in Tibet for me.
Nah, born on the 4th of July for me.
And 7 years in Tibet. I'm just throwing a little visuals out there for you people. And of course, born on the 4th of July. Damn, that's a small ass picture. I should have got a bigger picture.
As it should be, because you know what? We wasn't independent on the 4th of July, so the 4th of July. God damn it.
See, there's that shade, man.
Yeah.
Shade.
So
Juneteenth, damn it.
Born on the 4th of July versus 7 years in Tibet. Okay, so Kev got 7 years. Born on the 4th is Ralph. All right, I'm not going to dwell on it. I enjoyed Born on the 4th of July more. I enjoyed it better. Don't try to sway me again, Kev. I enjoyed it better.
Tibet is the reason why he ended up falling in love with Angelina, in my opinion. He got his taste of the Tibetan life.
Please.
That Mrs. Smith was the deal breaker.
Please, at that time,
that was the deal breaker.
Listen,
right there.
at that time in his life, he at that time was like he was messing around with Mike with what's his name, Robin Gibbons. So let's keep it real. He went to Tibet.
Yeah, about to get his head knocked off by Mike
Tyson. That's why he went to Tibet, to get away from Mike Tyson. He's like, Tyson ain't gonna beat me up in the monster.
About to get his head knocked off by Mike. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's keep it moving. So now so he went. So we have Tom Cruise winning that. Number 9, Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder, one of my faves, versus number 9, The Devil's Own, Brad Pitt.
Oh,
that was with Robert Redford, right?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Days of Thunder, man.
Yeah,
I love Days of Thunder. I'm
gonna tell you this. I'm a sound guy. If you make a movie that different sounds in the movie just like resonate, like that's one reason why I like Star Wars so much, because of the sound. But Days of Thunder, I dare anybody to sit through Days of Thunder when they turn those car engines on and every vehicle is zipping past that camera to not be like say that this is basically Top Gun on wheels. You can't.
This is why
you can't.
That's the reason. Not to cut you off, Ralph, but that's the reason why. This is one of the reasons why Ford versus Ferrari got nominated. I believe they got a nomination in sound.
Yep.
I think they did. They got a nomination. They may have won too. Yep. They definitely got a nomination.
I think they won.
In sound. Yeah.
And it was damn sure earned. And exactly. This is. To me, it's not even a guilty pleasure. It is one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. It's Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Beyond the sound.
That was one of my favorites too. Yeah, that was one of my favorites back then. All right, cool. So Tom Cruise, it's another one.
Who's winning this battle? Who's winning right now? Anyway, who's out there keeping
right now? Tom Cruise is winning.
If we stopped it right now, it's a repeat of last week.
Oh God! But
Damn.
we'll see. It's not over till it's over. So let me just see.
I listen. If Tom wins 3 more, it's over for Brad. I'm gonna tell you now.
Well, he's gonna win at least 3 more.
Okay, so here we go. Number 10, A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise. I want the truth. Versus number 10, Sleepers, Brad Pitt.
No shit. Few Good Men.
Few Good Men, man.
Few Good Men is going to win.
Yeah.
You can't.
Going to win. Yeah. I want the truth. But the way he killed that. They both played lawyers in the film. Now, granted,
yeah,
they both played very good lawyers in the film because Brad Pitt had to play a prosecutor to prosecute his best friends for killing a man that raped them all when they were kids, and he played the whole things where he knew they were gonna get off. So he had to play prosecutor, but he knew he was gonna make sure that they got off. So when he hired Dustin Hoffman to play the other lawyer, yeah, I tell you, it's very, very slick, very slick. So they both were in, just as Tom Cruise, very slick, cleverly got the pompous, the arrogant, I should say, character, Jessup, General Jessup, I think that was his name, played brilliantly by Jack Nicholson, to admit that he ordered the code red. And he got him to admit it, and he foreshadowed it. He predicted it. He was like, "Yeah, he don't like hearing, from us, because as we know, there is a long standing disrespect between the Marines and the Navy." So,
man, every member, every branch of the military don't like the other branches for whatever reason.
But honestly, because my dad was a Marine. Listen, if I was going into, my dad didn't want his kids going into the service, but I could not go into the Navy. It was either the Air Force or the Marines. It was one or the other. I couldn't even do the Army. I was told it's either the Marines or the Air Force if I went.
I went to Air Force. I was actually going to join the Navy. I was going to join the Navy, and the only reason I didn't get into the Navy is because I had to lose 15 pounds, and I could not. No matter what I was doing, I could not lose it because I had to go in at like 170, and I was like 185. I just could not do it. But hey, when it was funny, when I was talking to the recruiter, you know what the 2 movies that he recruited me on as reason why you're in the Navy? Top Gun, and because he was on the ship when he was doing it, The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Yo, here's what's funny. And here's what's funny about what you're saying, Ralph. Because what I was just saying in my head when Wes was talking before about Tom Cruise and his character between him and Jack Nicholson, that reminded me of Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman.
Right.
And Crimson Tide.
Yeah. Well, Matty said Cruz are ready for the win, but West set up Pitt to fail.
Again.
I did not. I like Brad Pitt.
Listen, I told y'all 2 verses ago what West be doing.
I did not. I love Brad Pitt.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna put these 2 together, but I automatically know it's gonna automatically slide over this way because this is just gonna be an epic fail.
I mean, if it's any consolation, Maddie, I have no control of the outcome. I was picking Sleepers over A Few Good Men because that was my favorite film. I thought it was a very good film. I thought the both of them were very great films. That's why I thought they were a good matchup because they both played lawyers. They both have these backstories that led to this whole court trial that was going on, and it ended up with somebody dying. Obviously, they were in court in Sleepers because they killed the man who raped them as boys, when they were in the juvie, and the young man a soldier who ended up dying from the Code Red that was ordered by Colonel Jessup. So I thought it was a good matchup, and I was picking sleepers, but it doesn't matter what I pick because they picked a few good men, so he wins. A few good wins.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth of you set Brad Pitt up to fail.
I did not. Okay, so moving on. Number 11, The Firm by Tom Cruise against number 11, Meet Joe Black.
Oh damn!
I'm sorry. It's going to be The Firm. First of all, Meet Joe Black was too damn long. It was 3 hours, and for what?
No, but Ralph, it was long. But listen, Ralph, it was long, but you were engaged every minute of that movie. As long as it was dialogue wise, and for it to be dialogue heavy, you know, I'm really going to speak for myself. For it to be dialogue heavy, and to be as long as it was, I was engaged the whole time of that movie. It wasn't like, you know, okay, let me get up and go get a drink of water. I watched the entire movie without a hitch, almost without blinking. But yeah, definitely The Firm. If I have to choose between the two, The Firm is my movie. I've seen it like 80 times. And one of
the things I liked about The Firm, beyond that, the music behind it is just the guy playing the piano. That's all he is. I think Sidney Pollack found this guy and asked him to score. All this guy did was play the piano throughout the entire movie, and it just keeps rocking.
That's all it needed.
That's all it needed.
That's all it needed.
All right. That was number what? That was number 10, 11, right?
11. That was 11.
Okay. So Tom Cruise moves on. You guys both picked The Firm.
Goddamn, Brad. Brad, you need to pull something out your ass, Brad.
Yeah, I was on that. Well, number 12. Here's a face-off. Number 12. Interview with the Vampire. Both characters. Interview with the Vampire for both actors. That is a Brad Pitt versus, Interview with Vampire Brad Pitt versus Interview with Vampire Tom Cruise. Who played it better? Who played their character better? Who, this is the one movie that they were in together. Very good movie. Done well. To Lestat the Vampire versus I forgot what you call his vampire name was.
Okay, but you know something? I know it's gonna seem like I'm just rooting for Tom Cruise, but I'm gonna take Tom Cruise in this for no other reason is that Anne Rice, the woman that wrote it, didn't even want him in it. She thought he was all wrong until she saw the movie and said, he is exactly what I was looking for. So
she didn't want him in it. But as we know, just to explain that for the people who may or may not know, we know that the writer Anne Rice is the writer of Interview with a Vampire, the book.
She's still not better than Brian Lumley.
But the writers do not have any say so most of the time on who gets cast in the movie because they the license have been registered or licensed out. The rights have been licensed or bought by the studio, and they're gonna cast whoever the hell they want to cast. So that's probably why at first sight she was not loving. It was not love at first sight. She didn't love Tom Cruise at first sight of the casting, but he won her over with his performance of Lestat the Vampire. The Vampire Lestat. Sorry. So, okay. So you're going with Tom Cruise. What about you?
I'm going with Tom with this.
Yeah, I'm going with Tom. Because to me, it almost seems like, just off of sheer memory, it's almost like Brad Pitt was only on for 5 minutes.
Well, he was telling the story. He was the interview. He was the one.
He's on longer, but it just. But I think the expectation.
Like I said,
it felt like that. Is what you're saying.
Yeah. Visually, when you think about it, because you saw more of Tom Cruise than you did of of Brad Pitt, in my opinion.
Well, maybe just by performance wise. I mean, they kind of ended up with about the same amount of screen time. It seems like. Well, you know,
but
you hearing the story through not Brad, but his character's eyes. He's telling the story. He's he's being interviewed. He's the one this and all of that stuff, and he's telling you about Lestat and all of that. His boy.
Yeah.
It was very good though performance by both of them. But Tom Cruise wins because you guys go for it. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm on Tom Cruise's side this time around as well. So it's a sweep for Tom Cruise there. Come on, Brad. You messing up, bro.
Brad. You're the one who's setting up the fail. I'm starting to make you.
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
You're gonna lose 24-1.
Number 13. 24-1. Number 13. Mission Impossible versus number 13. Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club.
You ain't even fair, man. It ain't even fair.
Listen. I'm going Mission Impossible. I could care less about Fight Club.
Nah, I'm going with Fight Club.
I gotta go with Fight. Rule number 1: we don't talk about Fight Club. Rule
number 1: the first rule of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club.
So then, exactly. So that's why I'm going with Mission Impossible because there's nothing to talk about with Fight Club.
Fight Club to me. I'm going with Fight Club. Only probably for the wrong reasons. I don't want to say the wrong reasons, but for the fact that there's so many other Mission Impossibles.
Yeah, I agree. There's too many other Mission Impossibles that you like. I do like the first one.
No, I like the first one as one of my favorites. I think that I think it was appropriate to use the first one because it was very good. Number one,
yeah.
It is, and a lot of people still consider that one the best one of the series, and arguably, and it was well done, and a lot of people just didn't know what to expect on how good it was going to be or not, but it was so well done and completely destroyed the TV series. Like the,
it took the TV series and just crumpled it up into a ball and just they played basketball with the trash can. It was like
trash ball. They played trash.
And listen, and for all of you out there who don't know about the TV show came on directly after Kung Fu, after Drive-In Theater went off on Channel 5, WNEW, up here in the tri-state area. When the Shaw Brother movie went off, Mission Impossible came on. And sometimes I would stay inside for both because sometimes it was too cold to go outside and play karate. So you stayed inside or play Kung Fu. So you stayed inside and you watched an episode of Mission Impossible. Some of those episodes were really good.
Very good.
But the movie did, the movie did destroy that TV show though.
Joseph Tanner says, "What about Kirsten Dunst's performance in Interview with the Vampire?" Well, we're not talking about Kirsten Dunst, but that's a good question. I thought she did a good job as a young actress at the time. She was a handful, right? In that movie, boy. She was like, she started. Remember, she was wilding out that time.
Yeah,
she started wilding. She was killing that. Yo, she was the worst. Matter of fact, she was at one point more dangerous than Lestat because she was killing motherfuckers left and right. She didn't care about the secrecy and keeping the discreet. Nope. She was just dropping bodies, yo.
Dropping bodies. They didn't care if they were completely dead or not. I turned them. Oops. My bad.
Just irresponsible.
But you know what? I will say, Joseph. I will say this. A lot of people aren't that big of fans of Kirsten Dunst. I happen to like her. I really loved her as Mary Jane, but she plays in season 2. I think it is of Fargo, the TV show. Mm-hmm. Watch her performance in that. She is awesome. She is really good. Right. She's actually season 3. Season 3.
All right.
I really liked her in that.
All right. So we got what did you go with, Ralph? Because I went with
Fight Club.
So I went with Fight Club too. So
Fight Club 1.
Yeah, Fight Club 1. Okay, so next up is Jerry Maguire, number 14. Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise against Brad Pitt, number 14. Snatch.
Come on, really, Jerry Maguire, man. Show me
Snatch
the
was
money.
not a bad movie, dude. Just because he
That's right,
said
but-
"show me the money" and Jerry Maguire don't make it a bad movie.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't see Snatch. I don't think I saw that.
Okay.
I saw it. I mean, that's
I
when
did-
Brad Pitt had the real deep Scottish accent, and you couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. Like what?
Oh, because he had Snatch. Because he had literal Snatch in his mouth.
No. Hey,
Angelina
might have been
Jolie.
Jennifer. It might have been Angelina Jolie, or it probably Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. All right.
Yeah.
So, being that Kevin's going with that, so we're going with Jerry Maguire. Another win for Tom. Okay, here we go. We have number 15, The Minority Report. Or it's just called Minority Report, the actual, based on the book, The Minority Report. Versus Spy Game.
Ooh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Sorry, Brad. And Spy Game was dope. Spy Game was dope, but Minority Report was my ish.
Yeah.
Well, Minority Report for me is definitely one of my favorites. I think I'm a big favorite of Philip K. Dick, who all of these movies that we grown and love to know, was based off of a book of his, and the Minority Report, or a short story of his.
Yeah,
the Minority Report happens to be one of them. Along with Blade Runner and a whole bunch of other ones. Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yep. Total Recall. There's a whole bunch of them.
The
Adjustment Bureau. The Adjustment Bureau is another one. That was Philip K. Dick book. And the funny thing is, funny meaning weird, not funny meaning funny. The weird thing about it is Philip K. Dick, unfortunately, did not live to see not one of these films made based on his books, because he died the same year, I think, that Blade Runner came out, but before the movie came out.
Damn shame, man.
That's a shame. He didn't get a chance to see any of these things come to pass.
Well, you know what I say? Well, thank God for that, because he didn't get to see that trash ass movie that they remade of Blade Runner and just messed it all up. So you know what?
I know, right?
So thank God he was spared.
Forget that. He didn't see that trash ass remake of Total Recall.
Oh God, that was terrible too.
Wait,
that had my baby in it too. My girl,
and it sucks.
It was a remake of Total Recall.
Yeah, that's funny. There's your answer right there. Kevin didn't see your movie. You know it must have sucked.
You didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing.
Bro. It had Colin Farrell and my girl who plays Celine.
Yeah, Celine was in it. Yeah. Unfortunately,
it sucks.
The Blade Runner sequel, I kind of like. I did kind of sort of like it. I did think it was too. I thought it visually, it's beautiful, but it was too damn long.
But it's supposed to look good. There was no points for that. We're in 2020. Well, it came out 2017.
Listen. Excuse my language. That shit was like Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
that
God.
garbage.
Assassin's Creed looked like a damn. Assassin's Creed looked like a old school of Blockbuster Video. One of them the Blockbuster Video movies.
Listen, I feel so bad for Michael Fassbender, because that was just, oh my God.
Okay, so that one is going. Who just won? The Minority Report.
Ain't nobody messed with him since then.
I know. Number 16, The Last Samurai versus number 16, Troy.
I love The Last Samurai, but Troy was the better movie. I'm sorry, Tom. And I love The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai was a good movie, but Troy was just the better movie. It was just more dramatic. It was just everything. Yeah.
I agree.
And I only saw that movie once. and it definitely left a good impact on me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going with that.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Man, I do like The Last Samurai. You know, and I did like Troy. Man, it's
Both
harder
had
than
epic battle scenes.
yes, both of them have best, but I'm gonna go with Troy because I kind of like the battle when after his cousin died and he comes in and he takes his master and says, "So now you know who you're facing. There'll be no misunderstandings." And he was just like playing with him. He wasn't even serious. He was just like toying around with him before he killed him. But there exactly that stands right there. He's just playing with him, right?
Yeah.
But Last Samurai, man, I'm going with Troy.
It was a good movie.
They're both really good movies. And actually, I'm gonna go with Troy because even though it was good, Troy was actually better than what I was given credit for, than what I thought it was going to be. It really was. I knew Last Samurai was going to be good because it was a Tom Cruise movie. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't expect the level that came with it. But Troy, I was kind of thinking, I don't know, Brad Pitt looking like he about to go surfing somewhere with his golden locks and all. Okay,
he killed it though.
Yeah, it was better than what I thought it was going to be. So my tiebreaker would go to Troy. With Troy.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Wes. I'll say what I got to say after you.
No, I'm just gonna say I'm going with Troy as well. I think I'm with y'all on that.
My sadness comes with us talking about this is the fact that I was kind of looking forward to hopefully getting to see Chadwick Boseman play Yasuke, who was the first Black African samurai. I was kind of sort of looking for that. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, it's the true story of the legendary African samurai Yasuke. Was written by the bio book was written by Thomas Lockley and Geoffrey Girard. If you're looking to check that out, it's a book. You can get it in hardcover. Or for your Kindle if you're looking for digital. I was kind of sort of looking forward to Chadwick Boseman possibly playing that role. Seeing,
cool. Unfortunate, man. So then Troy wins. That's another one for Brad. Okay, moving on. We're down to number 17 now. Collateral. I know, right? Collateral. Tom Cruise versus Ocean's 11.
Another setup to fail. Oh, another setup to fail. Oh, Jesus. You set Brad Pitt up to fail.
I agree, man. Listen, I'm going with Collateral all day.
Listen. The only thing I'm gonna say on this one, I know I'm talking a little bit too much, but I don't care. I'm being a Dallas fan right now.
Oh my God!
Collateral.
I'm gonna pull out the Wrap It Up box. I'm gonna pull the Wrap It Up music box out on y'all motherfuckers in a minute.
Listen, Collateral. Honestly, Collateral for me is what made. And Jamie Foxx is one of my favorite male actors. Collateral is what did it for me with him and Tom Cruise. Yo, their chemistry together in that movie was amazing, man.
It was really
so amazing. It's so amazing, man. Oceans was dope. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we know Oceans was dope. Collateral. I don't think ain't too much Brad. To be honest with you, ain't too much Brad Pitt would have had to really beat Collateral. I mean, it's messed up to say that, but I don't think so. At least, I mean, Collateral was really good and underrated too. I don't think it got the recognition it should have got. For some reason, I don't know why, but it didn't. So,
but it's once again, it's another Michael Mann movie. I mean, he just has that ability to make these movies that just sneak up on you. But when it sneaks you, it's like when you get punched. It sneaks you, and even though you don't really it doesn't bother you, it like you still have the pain that comes with it. And Collateral is just it sticks with you, and it is more Jamie Foxx than Tom Cruise. But it's the first time you're really seeing Tom Cruise as a bad guy. I think it's the only time You really see him as the bad guy.
Yeah, he played a good, and everyone, we all know every good actor who always plays good guys. You want to see them play a bad guy at least once,
and he did it.
He really was. He was a menace in that, man. So
when the guys went there and took his BBK, he came out and says, "Yo, homies, you got my back."
Yeah.
He said, "Wait a minute, I don't want no problems," and he wound up shooting them all in the head.
I'm going with Collateral as well. He wins. Okay, so now number 18. It's about to get real serious now. Don't count Brad out. Number 18. War of the Worlds. Tom Cruise versus number 18. World War Z.
Oh,
Brad Pitt.
Goddamn. Fuck you.
War of the Worlds versus World War Z.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Brad. I'm so sorry, Brad. Yo, I love World War Z, but yo, War of the Worlds was everything to me, man. That was a really good remake from the classic, man. I really love what they did with that movie, man. It was just that was a movie that's one of those movies where I could, like, if it's on TV, I could stop what I'm doing and watch it.
Yeah,
I'm going with World War Z. Only because I've never seen zombies run.
But you never.
No, but you know what? But I'm gonna tell you who does it better, though. I'm gonna tell you who does it better. Watch Chinese and Korean horror and Japanese zombies. Yo, they move. Yo, them things move. The Train to Busan. Did anybody watch that?
No,
I never heard of that.
If you get a chance, go on Netflix and watch. I think it's called The Train to Busan. Let me tell you something. It's zombies on a train.
Oh Jesus!
And listen,
I don't know if my heart can take that. I'm not. Zombies. Let me tell you something. One of the films that scared the crap out of me ever. One of the films that always scared the crap out of me was Night of the Living Dead. I've never been. I love zombies, but I've always been afraid of zombies. So I don't know if my heart can take zombies on the train.
Well,
if you and wifey gotta watch it together, you and wifey watch it together. I'm telling you,
she's worse than me. You kidding me? She's worse than me. She's the worst. I can't watch. I gotta go snatch my daughter up to watch a horror film. Like, me and my daughter had to go see Halloween. So I had to take her with me. I saw her. I took her with me to see Halloween because she likes the scary movies. My wife stayed at home.
Which Halloween?
You know what I'm saying? The last one that he just did. That last Halloween.
Listen.
So
that's if you like World War
I'm gonna look that up though. I'm gonna check that out because I want to really do some. I want to do some. I haven't gotten my horror movie stuff going this month yet. I'm gonna do a little.
I did. I started my Halloween. I started off with Halloween.
I usually ended with Halloween on Halloween, so it could scare the crap. That's another movie that scared the crap out of me. So it's like, but I maybe I will do it first now that you mentioned it, Kev, so I could get that shit out my head because that shit had me all Michael Myers, man, got me messed up. But anyway. Okay, so we did Collateral. We're down to War of the Worlds versus World War Z. So Ralph, who you got?
I gotta go with War of the Worlds myself.
War of the Worlds.
Yes, because it is a very good movie, and it goes against one of the things I complained about when we did the decade. Is like all these horrible remakes, and War of the Worlds is not a horrible remake. It's a really good one. It's a really good one, and I like how they changed the dynamic with Tom Cruise with the two kids, and maybe a little biased because it was shot in my hometown. Part of it is shot in my hometown in Newark. If you know where you're looking for, you'll find exactly where they did it at. Newark and Jersey City. You'll see exactly where they filmed it at. And it wasn't a composite. They were really there filming that movie, but it's one of the better remakes that has been made in most recent history, at least to me. So
I almost say watch the original and then watch that one, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Also, my reasoning for liking this movie, it completely changed the way I look at lightning. Every time I see a lightning strike, I think there's something coming down from space now. I just don't see it any other way now.
I don't trust you. I don't trust it. It's a setup. Damn Republicans.
Yeah.
Listen, Kerry Tobin, damn Republicans.
It's stupid. All right, so that is War of the Worlds. Sorry, Brad, I tried to go to bat for you. I loved World War Z. I thought it was a little different. It was more original, but it's what it is.
No, it's not. It's not different.
But you know what? Kind of, sort of.
More original because War of the Worlds was a remake.
Well, as far as the zombie
as far as those type of zombies is concerned, 28 days later actually set that off first.
Yeah,
with the fact
with the guys running. I mean, the only thing that I saw that was different in World War Z from 20 Days is the end where he had something and it made him invulnerable to zombies, where he could walk amongst them without them attacking him. Now that was different, but that's at the end of the movie. It's not like it's in the beginning. It's at the movie only to set up.
And I'm mad that we didn't get the part 2 that we were supposed to get too.
Yeah.
I'm also pissed off about that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving right along, we have number 19. Now we're about to hit the last few. Number 19, Tom Cruise, Night and Day, with Cameron, what's her name?
Diaz.
Cameron Diaz versus number 19, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Team up movie versus team up movie.
Jesus, yo, him and Cameron Diaz was the shit though. Yo, it was funny, and it was kind of it. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
it was a surprise. It was a sneak up surprise as to that movie, because I remember it dropped like in the middle of the week, and nobody knew it was coming out. It was on the marquee of my cinema. I was like, Night and Day. You know, and honestly, when it came out, I don't remember seeing any trailers for it. No TV ads.
I remember one trailer for it. I do remember a trailer for it. I enjoyed it though. I think these movies were good to compare against each other. You know, girl guy team up
Night
movie.
And Day was
two spies. Well, she wasn't a spy. He was a spy, right?
But Night and Day was no. I don't think she.
No. I think she wasn't a spy.
No, she like repaired cars or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, but it was. I'm gonna say. Well, the one thing I will say is I was glad that I got to see that in the movies and didn't like see that on TV, because Night and Day is the perfect TV movie. Like if you're home, stuck at home, and it comes on TV, like to watch without commercials, it's definitely dope for that. But I'm glad I got to see that in the theater. That was one of the few movies that I liked by Diaz. And Tom Cruise, obviously was who he was in that. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith changed the game, though.
Yeah, it did. I'm going with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Man, it was just like,
well, you know what? For all you whack ass Redskin Edward Cullen loving fans out there, I'm going with Night and Day. I'm sorry,
but I gotta have to go with Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Just because I want to troll, I'm going with Night and Day. No other reason.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith wins. Okay, number 20. We're in our last 5 now. Number 20. The Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise.
You setting him up to fail. God damn.
Versus Inglorious Bastards.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Quentin Tarantino, but for this one, I'm taking Edge of Tomorrow.
Character versus character?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, because Tom Cruise has to keep playing the same role, right? But not only is he playing the same role, he has to remember what he already did when he dies and comes back again. It is.
So what? Bill Murray did it in Groundhog.
You're absolutely right. Bill Murray did, but Bill Murray wasn't out there getting shot.
Wes, you didn't stop playing. Did you listen? You know what? Wait, Ralph. I don't mean to cut you off. but Wes is bullshitting right now. Because listen, Wes
He's
was all over
trolling.
this one. We talked about this one
I'm
on the
trolling.
phone
No, I love
after
it.
it
No, I
came
love
out.
this movie.
And listen, I'm having total recall of that conversation.
I
And
love
Wes
this
was
movie.
very hyped about that movie when
Oh,
it came
yo,
out.
let me tell you something. The reason what made me love this movie so much is it was one of those movies. It's like what happened to me when I saw Mr. Brooks. I had no idea what this movie was about when I went in to see it.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't.
that's right. You are
I
right
didn't
about
see.
that. You did say that.
I didn't see a trailer, nothing.
Like,
I had
just like
no
Night and Day.
idea what this
that was
movie was about.
Just like Night and Day. But
Yep.
man, it just got you, and you're like, yo, why didn't I know about this thing? Like,
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly. That's another one that, for some
wait.
reason, it kind of flew under the radar.
yeah,
It was
Yeah,
weird.
but I don't understand. How could y'all not have seen that? I remember those commercials, but specifically because I'm in love with Homegirl. I don't care about Homegirl. Listen, he did
Emily
this thing with
Blunt.
a quiet
Emily Blunt.
that, but yeah, Emily Blunt is fine as hell, hands off.
Oh yeah, Emily Blunt's that girl, man. I loved her since the Adjustment Bureau.
no, I love this.
Yeah.
This Devil Wears Prada.
And you know what? I don't understand. Every time I hear somebody say that, I don't remember the commercials for that. You know, the only thing I remember about those commercials, and I keep saying it wrong.
Repeat. Live, die, repeat.
Yeah, I keep saying rinse. I keep saying dry, rinse, repeat. I don't know why I keep saying that, but yeah.
You've been doing some laundry lately. You've been doing laundry lately. Dry, rinse, repeat.
But that's the reason why. That's the reason why I always remember the commercials. Remember the trailers was because of that. Because of that tagline.
So
Live, die, repeat.
tomorrow, y'all gonna shit on my man. Y'all gonna shit on my man QT. That's all good.
But honestly, that should have been the name. They should have kept the name of the book as the name of the movie. Live, die, repeat. That's a whole lot better. Edge of Tomorrow. You say live, and nowadays, right? Some
It's
of the
definitely a catchier. It's a catchier. The Live, Die, Repeat is a catchier title because Edge of Tomorrow. I mean, now that you've seen the movie, it does match. It does,
but
match.
it kind of sounds. But that sounds.
It matches it. You're on the edge of tomorrow. You can't really make it to tomorrow.
Makes you think of a.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and for those who don't know about the book, for those people who didn't know about the book, you know, when you hear Live, Die, Repeat, you kind of sort of think James Bond. That sounds like a Bond title. Like you're not thinking.
Yeah, that might have been another reason why. That type of deal does sound like some sort of Bond title, whatever. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so Edge of Tomorrow, which I ain't mad at, wins. So
we can stop this right now.
Yeah, we can.
I hate to say that
at this point. Brad's trying to hold on with a string. Let's see if Brad can get a sweep. If he can sweep the next few, he'll make it interesting.
Brad is holding on with his pinky fingernail, with his coke fingernail.
What's the score anyway? What is the score anyway?
Right now, at this point, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for Tom. And 1, 2, 3,
to 6. Yeah, because we're at number 20, right?
Yeah. 20.
So it's 14 to 6. It's pretty much a route.
Yeah, that's
Even if he sweeps, he's not going to catch him.
That's why I told you. Why you think I said earlier, if Brad don't start winning now, it's a wrap.
Poor Brad. So, well, should we even finish it?
Yeah, let's finish it out.
Let's finish it out. Okay.
Yeah, we got to finish it out.
So number 21, Jack Reacher by Tom Cruise versus number 21, Fury. Brad Pitt.
Fury,
man, that was good.
That was
real
good.
I like Jack Reacher. I did like Jack Reacher, man, but Fury, man.
Yeah. I think Jack Reacher was really good, but I think at that point
Jack Reacher was reaching.
Huh?
Jack Reacher was reaching.
I thought Jack Reacher was good, but I mean at that point you already know him as Ethan Hunt. Also you had John Wick out. It was just like there's no way to Jack.
And
Yeah, I
then
don't
he
want to
played
see
the
another one
character
of
that he
these.
played, and then he played the character that he played in Collateral.
Yeah.
So this was like,
So I'm just like, all right, cool. Yeah, it's just another. That was just like another chick or whatever. I don't know what he was trying to do.
But
Anyway.
that one sequence in the movie where they would chase him and he gets out the car while he's driving and blends in with the crowd. I still think that's one of the funniest sequences I've ever seen.
I like him
like
though. Yeah, I love Tom Cruise when it comes to this stuff.
And then
All right,
the older
20
guy gave him the hat.
Yeah. Number 22, Oblivion, Tom Cruise versus number 22, The Counselor, Brad Pitt.
Oblivion for me. I didn't see The Counselor.
I saw The Counselor.
Oblivion.
It's one of the worst movies ever made. Everybody in the cast owes me money for seeing that movie. And it didn't make any sense. And for the level of talent in that movie, the only thing about the movie I remember was Cameron Diaz masturbating onto a Mercedes Benz. Sorry, Diaz.
Yeah, they had that was one film. I have to agree with you there. That was one film that had there's a couple of films that's like that too, that had an ensemble cast and just really no one did nothing with it. Like I don't understand it. Like once again, there your boy shows up again, Kev, your boy Michael Fassbender in the middle of a dud. Yeah.
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 I'm starting to think Michael Fassbender is slowly becoming one of those
kryptonite.
He's kryptonite.
Yeah, he is.
He needs a win. He needs a win. He needs a W, man.
I'm gonna tell you when he would get a W. He'd get a W if they let him play Bond. If they let his chains loose and let him play Bond, Michael Fassbender would be a good 007. Especially right now while he's still a little young. They need to make that happen. Especially after Daniel Craig. Especially after Daniel Craig. Well, you know what? I would have said 5 or 6 years ago that he would have. If Daniel Craig would have ended 5 or 6 years ago, before this last Bond movie, Michael Fassbender would have been a good pickup after him. But I think he's done. He might as well just stick to playing Magneto. That's the only thing he does. Right.
That's done. He's done with that.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much okay. So, Oblivion obliterates to oblivion of of The Counselor. Okay, well, let me just. There's no point in even keeping scoring.
Sorry, Brad.
We know that he won this.
Pick a better movie next time, Brad.
Eyes wide shut. Number 23 versus War Machine. Number 23. Brad.
I never heard of War Machine. I never heard of that one. But even if I did, I think I would still take Eyes Wide Shut. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
Even if I did, I'd probably take Eyes Wide Shut.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go against a Stanley Kubrick movie. It's kind of hard. He's one of those guys that, I mean, he doesn't make he didn't make a whole bunch of movies. No. And when he did, he's making one he was making one every 10 years.
I know.
You know, so he puts all the prep, and it certainly is it's a very deep character study. Mm-hmm. That's what I took out of it, a very deep character study. I mean, and once again, a movie that caused Nicole Kidman and her then husband Tom Cruise to break up for good because it showed the flaws in their marriage after having worked with you for the next year and a half. I think it's how long it took to make the movie.
Scientology and orgies.
Yeah,
that's you get.
Don't mix. They don't mix. Ask Christy Alley.
Yeah, I think Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut was weird. I think I might have seen that movie 1.5 times. I never watched it a full 2 times. I don't think.
I watched that movie at least 10 times while I was married to the Evil Witch of the West. That was one of the good things about our marriage was that movie and seeing that movie along with Notting Hill and The Ninth Gate. Yeah, I love it.
I might understand Notting Hill. I don't get The Ninth Gate or this one, but hey.
Listen. The Ninth Gate was dope because my wife fell asleep and I could watch a movie in peace without her asking me a bunch of fucking questions.
Oh, right. Okay.
Why is this happening? Why is that happening?
We're down to the last two. So number 24, American Made, Tom Cruise, versus number 24, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
See, I did like American Made.
I really liked American Made. I'm gonna say this, and now y'all, this is messed up, man. So I was hoping QT would have picked it up on Inglourious Bastards, but now I can't really go with QT on this one because I'm gonna be honest, I fell on this sleep on this film like 5 times. I tried to watch this film over.
It was long. It was
long.
It was
it's a long movie.
Yes, and it was just a long movie of ass kissing, his ode to Hollywood and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, okay, great. And I remember we talked, I don't know if y'all remember, we talked about this when it was announced and before it came out. And we talked about, and I understand, and don't get me wrong, I understand why he did what he did with the film, but I just felt a little disappointed. Maybe that's wrong to say that I felt a little disappointed that they didn't actually tell the story with the Manson family, like what actually happened. I understand why they did it, though. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want to sound like I'm
Tarantino
like that, huh?
Tarantino did.
Well, I mean, he really did. He really did what everyone in Hollywood would have wanted him to do, and like I said, I understand he did because he respects Hollywood so much. He's a Hollywood man, right? Like
but I know for a fact that out there somewhere lies an ending that ends the way it's supposed to end.
Probably.
I know that lies out there somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
With him doing it that way, so for me, I have to go with American Made because I really did enjoy that. I thought that was really good. And another one that flew under the radar, in my opinion, no pun intended, because he was kind of flying under the radar in the film with that plane. But I liked it. I thought it was good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my least favorite Quentin Tarantino films. He's my favorite director. So I don't know. I can't vouch for a movie that I fell asleep on 5 times.
Wow. I'm gonna go with American Made. I mean, I do like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I got why you changed it. My one of my gripes about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that you have Kurt Russell in this, right? And I really damn, it's Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike. I agree 100%. I don't understand. And Quentin has been doing this from day one. He's always connected his characters. Why wouldn't he do that with this? Why not make him Stuntman Mike? You know what I'm saying? Like
Stuntman Mike's dad. I might have got with that one. That was his dad. But no, you didn't do any of that stuff. It's like you just glanced over it. And something else. Oh,
here's why.
I'm sorry. Brad Pitt on his best day couldn't touch Bruce Lee on his best day. I don't care. I don't care if he had a threesome with Aniston and Angelina Jolie Pitt before he shot the scene. He still couldn't beat Bruce Lee on his worst day. So come on.
Right? Yeah, that's it. A lot of people they caught a lot of flack behind that too.
Yeah. See, I think that was him hating. That was his. Because to me, honestly, and this is just my own personal opinion, I like Quentin Tarantino, but I honestly believe deep down inside, Quentin Tarantino is a racist. I don't care what
I don't know about that. But the thing is, him hating, he definitely wasn't hating him. He loves Bruce Lee. I mean, this guy, all he does is reference Bruce Lee in a lot of its films. So I mean, he's a Shaw Brothers, historian.
Yeah, he is. He's a fanatic.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't go there, but okay. Well, we're gonna give that's going to American Made, and finally, Mission Impossible Fallout. That was the last Mission Impossible with Henry Cavill. I don't know why I picked that one. I picked the first one and the last one. That's all I did. I didn't want to go in between. Versus Ad Astra, Brad Pitt.
I'm still taking Mission.
Ad Astra was good. That's true.
I still haven't seen. I started looking at the other night, but I fell asleep because it was like 3 in the morning. I had to watch, but I'm still going to take Mission Impossible. My only thing about this one, Mission Impossible Fallout, if it was the one right before it, where they first introduced Rebecca Ferguson, it's a no-brainer to me because she added some. She added what I didn't expect in Mission Impossible, a deep, strong female lead to rival Ethan Hunt. But now you have her in this one. But now you give him this agent by Henry Cavill that's equally up to him that he has to work with and then defeat. And then you threw in the thing with his ex-wife was in it. It was like damn, how many more things you gonna throw at this guy all at the same time? So
listen. On top of, I don't care what nobody say. I think Tom Cruise almost died with that damn helicopter stunt. That shit was crazy.
I thought you were gonna say I don't care what no one say. Tom Cruise is racist.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Honestly, I think with the last couple of Mission Impossible movies, Tom Cruise has died at least 3 times. I'm serious.
Yeah, this is not Tom Cruise. This is a clone.
I think
he's already died.
I think he died in the American Jackie Chan, because I believe Jackie Chan is dead too.
I think Tom Cruise died in that helicopter sequence. I definitely think he died in that underwater sequence when he went into the and in the one before that when he was underwater trying to undo that lock. I think he died.
And his next film, he's actually going to space.
Yeah, like yo, dude,
he's gonna actually go to space in the next film, and that's actually once again the callback to the MCU thing. They're also talking about him actually, the possibilities of him doing, some stunts as Iron Man as well, doing his own stunts, of course. So he would be a little bit more of a physical Tony Stark, even though, like I said, we are not comparing. No, I don't want the MCU people coming from my fanboys coming from my head.
There is no comparison.
There is no comparison. There is no comparison.
I'm gonna be honest.
If you're gonna Robert Downey Jr., RDJ is Tony Stark. He is Iron Man. He is Tony Stark.
But I'm like this: if you're gonna bring Tom Cruise into the MCU, right? Yeah. Why can't he play Reed? Why can't he play Reed?
I'm explaining to you. One, because he's too short.
Enough,
he's not physical enough?
No, I said that's too physical. I mean, he's not physical enough. The role is not physical enough.
But maybe at this point in Tom Cruise's career, maybe he does need something where he's not really risking life and limb. Where he
he wouldn't be happy doing that.
Reed Richards is more Emily Blunt's husband type of role than it is Tom Cruise. Just off of character depth, like Tom Cruise, it would come off fake with him trying to be a scientist and be smart, being that smart. Like Reed Richards is like it's Reed Richards, Tony Stark's Wakanda. Or Wakanda, I'll put it like this: Reed Richards and then Reed Richards' son. Well, it's Reed Richards' son, and then Reed Richards, and then like Dr. Doom, and then Tony Stark, and then that's when you start rolling down the line of smartness and of intelligence in the MCU. The only thing I have to really say about Tom Cruise and him showing up in the MCU is that Kevin Feige is petty as hell. He heard that DC was doing Flashpoint, and he was like, "Oh, you could do it if you want to, but watch what I'm gonna do."
Right. They're gonna once again beat DC to the multiverse.
To the punch.
They're gonna beat them to the punch as usual, because everyone knows that the Flashpoint revolves around the multiverse. So
it is. It literally is.
It is the multiverse. It revolves around the multiverse. So once again, they're going to, when they had way of a later start, because remember they've had DC's had the Flashpoint material. They've been going on. They've had it for years. and they've been waiting and not doing it right, and this and canceling and this and that because they in such turmoil up in there. And once again, they're gonna get caught sleeping. They're gonna beat them to the punch. The only time DC got the one up on them was when they released Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman being that film with the, out there, whatever, kind of beat them. And because, people were like, okay.
Go ahead, Wes. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying about with that compared to, say, Captain Marvel, whatever. Even though Captain Marvel did its numbers, I'm just saying, a lot of people were not happy with Captain Marvel. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So they weren't happy with Captain Marvel, but almost nobody wasn't happy with Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? So that's probably one of the only times that they kind of got like a one up on them or whatever when they had plenty of opportunity to do that. They should have did it with they could do it with Flashpoint, or they could have did it with Flashpoint to get up on them. And Aquaman, yes, as well. Aquaman might be the bigger one, even than Wonder Woman, because Aquaman completely snubbed the Submariner Namor because this dude, like his look in this film. He doesn't look like Aquaman that we all know and love. He looked more like Namor. He looked more like Namor.
He looked more like a Hell's Angel that would slap you with a star.
Comic book writer's name? Jay Lee. He looks like anybody out there, even if you're not into comics. If you want to see what we're talking about, go look up Marvel's Namor and look up Jay Lee as the listen. When Jay Lee started drawing Submariner, I bought every issue because it was just his drawing was just incredible for Namor. It was almost like when Todd McFarlane took over Spider-Man. It was just like, holy crap, what is this? It is it's freaking amazing. Amazing. And they completely don't like to do Namor.
That messed them up with Namor. But anyhow, so there you have it. Tom Cruise in a landslide. I don't even remember what I think. Well, what did he get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tom Cruise in a landslide. That's all we need to know.
It ain't even funny.
Yeah, it's like 18 or 19. It's something like 18 or 19.
Yeah, it's like 18 and 19 or something like that to 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it would probably be something like 18 to 7.
18 to 7, yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it.
We're being nice by saying
18 to 7, dang.
Yeah, that's another blowout. Tom Cruise is a beast now. I mean, Tom Cruise is like, I think he's a better actor than what people give him credit for. Not to say that they don't give him credit, but I mean, as far as even when he gets dramatic, not just act, he's not just an action guy. He can act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good range. Yeah,
right.
Really
Magnolia is not on this list. That's that was missing.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot missing.
Yeah, Far and Away. I mean, I think that's underrated.
Far and Away.
Ralph, listen. If you were to add those, it already Wes already set Brad Pitt up to fail. I don't know why.
How did I set Brad Pitt up to fail where his movies just weren't better?
It's 18 to 7. Do we need
his movies just wasn't better?
I mean, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies is not there. The Color of Money. That is not there.
I know. I took that out. I remember that. Yeah. Color of Money. Yeah, I took that out. Yeah, I had it on the list, but by the time I put all of the dope Tom Cruise movies, I was at like 30. I was like, okay, I got to start taking stuff off.
I might have took Oblivion out and put Tropic Thunder instead.
I didn't want to put Tropic Thunder because I know I was gonna put Tropic Thunder, but I didn't want to put Tropic Thunder, even though he did. It was great.
You know why he didn't put Tropic Thunder? Ralph, you know why he didn't put Tropic Thunder? Because that would have been the icing on the cake. Like
it was already icing on the cake. Okay.
Listen, because nobody didn't realize that was Tom Cruise until the end. Nobody.
No, they didn't.
Listen, him and Robert
I know
Downey
I
Jr.
didn't. I know I didn't. When I saw that it was Tom Cruise, I was like, holy crap. So, well, there you have it, people. Tom Cruise in a a landslide and a slaughter of Brad Pitt. Brad, we still love you. No, I'm joking. No, we still love you. And
ain't nothing without Angelina Jolie now.
He's stupid.
Nothing,
but
man.
Brad Pitt actually has a few films coming out. So it is, of course, Tom Cruise. Like I said, his next film, I think he's going to do it on the next Mission Impossible film. He's going to actually go to space. Like he is going to actually go to space.
I don't even see how that shit's on.
Not Ethan Hunt. Tom Cruise. Right, that's what I'm saying. He's going to go to the upper atmosphere. So just for Tom Cruise is going to do that. Not Ethan Hunt. Tom Cruise is going to do that. So, that's going to be off the chain. I mean, speaking of atmosphere, Ad Astra, that scene where Brad Pitt falls when he's falling. Oh my God. That gave me so much anxiety. Gave me so much anxiety.
Jesus.
That gave me so much anxiety.
Is that what anxiety is? If that's what it is, now I know what it is. Because that is the one time in life that I've had that. I was like, Lord Jesus, this he is dead.
Wow. I haven't seen it yet. I was looking at it the other day. It was on TV Saturday night. The same time Saturday Live was on. Yeah. And I saw the part where I guess he was like being chased on the moon and he fell over into a crater and the thing flipped over, something like that. And then I want to watch that live.
This is when he was on the big space antenna thing, and that nigga fell.
Yeah, he just fell. Yeah.
But Wes, Kev is right. You did set Brad. There's some films that you could have put Brad Pitt up there that might have turned the tide a little bit,
Like
Moneyball. Moneyball.
Okay.
You could have put up definitely Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh yeah, Benjamin Button. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Babel.
War Proof. Oh my God.
Yeah. The assassination of Jesse James.
Jesse James. There you go.
Ralph, you're proving the point. He did it on purpose.
No, you did kind of set him up.
Oh wow!
Yo, man, just
assassination of
give me your money. Just give me your money and don't talk. Don't give me your money. Don't say shit. Just give me your money. Just give me your money.
Oh my God!
Don't have me cut you. Just give me your money, man.
Okay, let's give all of those you just mentioned to Brad Pitt. He still loses. So, every single one you just mentioned to Brad Pitt, he still loses. So,
you see how he said it?
Maybe. Now you're going with maybe.
I'm just saying, it's not maybe. That's a fact. If you just mentioned what 4 films?
Yeah.
So tack those 4 films on to his 7. He still loses.
That's 11.
But hold it. He lost 18-7.
He has no conviction at this point.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. If you give him, but see what happens is if you give him those 4 films, right? He goes from 7 to 11. You take off 4 Tom Cruise movies. Now it's like 13 to 11. It's a little more of a battle here. It's not an onslaught.
Okay, so it's not an onslaught, but second, what is it? A loss is a loss.
Loss is a loss. At the end of the day, loss
is a loss. There's no,
like, you know what?
There's no moral victories here in verses.
You know what? Ralph, you know what it is?
Actually, you're dead right on Benjamin Button. I completely missed Benjamin Button. I don't know why I did that, but I did have Moneyball on there and ended up taking it off. Yeah.
See?
Listen,
but Benjamin Button was never on there. Benjamin Button was never on there. I have to admit that. I completely forgot about Benjamin Button.
Ralph, it's the preacher in him. It's the preacher in him. He's like, damn Brad Pitt's a sinner. He's a
no, it ain't got nothing to do with it. No, it had nothing to do with it. I didn't do it. I'm telling you. I was trying to match films as close as possible. I didn't set him up. Sorry, Brad.
We need need a whistle.
Need a whistle.
Man. It's all right.
Yeah, Miguel says, set him up for failure. Damn. All right. Okay. From this point on, I'm going to send my list way ahead of time. I'll get the consensus from you guys, and then we'll go from there. But I'm trying not to,
Nope. It's your thing. You made it up. You keep making the list. This is number 2 now. You did it with Sandra Bullock.
I do that with Sandra Bullock.
No. Julia Roberts just got her ass whooped. I'm sorry.
Julia Roberts just got mashed up. She got mashed up. It's that plain and simple. Listen. Okay.
Sorry, Charlize Theron, maybe you did set her up.
I did not set up Charlize either.
Yeah,
wait a minute. I thought she won. Who won? Angelina?
No,
won?
I think Angelina won. No,
Angelina won that. No, it was a tie with those two.
Yeah, so that's what I told you. This is number 5.
It's number 4. Yeah,
we forgot about that one. Angelina and Charlize. That was the third one we did. That was number 3. And number 4 was the one we just did. Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts. Yeah. Angelina. I think Angelina won. I think. I don't know.
I think it was a tie. I think either a tie.
Was it a tie?
No, I think it was a tie. If I'm
we did tiebreakers though.
Yeah.
If it was a tie.
Oh yeah, we did tiebreakers. Yeah, we did do tiebreakers. So I think
Angelina did win.
I'm almost sure. I gotta go back and check. I think Angelina did win. But anyhow, so that's that one. So who should we battle next?
Harrison Ford versus somebody. Harrison Ford versus somebody. I don't know who.
It's tough
Harrison
to pit
Ford
him against somebody.
Snipes.
Nah, he'll beat Snipes. He'll beat Snipes.
Do you put Harrison Ford up against Tom Hanks?
No. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is tough.
Would he really? That's Michael. Would he really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Would he really?
Tom Hanks. I'm sorry. Tom Hanks is not beating Han Solo or Indiana Jones. He's just not. I don't care what movie you put up. He is not beating
Robert Langdon as Robert
Miguel. Miguel suggests Clint Eastwood versus Harrison Ford.
Clint Eastwood got that.
You said Clint Eastwood got that.
Listen. From spaghetti westerns all the way down. Once you hit Harry Callahan, what is Harrison Ford doing against Harry Callahan?
Indiana Jones.
I mean, tightrope. The Good to Bad, not the Good to Bad, the Ugly. High Plains Drifter.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. I think is the one that's
Outlaw Josie Wells.
Yeah. I think Unforgiven is the one. Is really the one. Even $1 Million Baby. I think those two for Clint Eastwood are like real tough to beat. You gotta have something like
Unforgiven, man.
Unforgiven is like Jesus.
El Camino and
what about Gran Torino? Yeah. What about the Dirty Harry?
Wait a minute, I got a better idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Dirty Harry movies alone. Him as Harry Callahan. Yo, I mean, Jesus.
I got a. How about we do our very first versus directors? Clint Eastwood versus Steven Spielberg.
Nah, man. Clint Eastwood versus Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
You know how much Steven Spielberg got? I know Clint got a lot of dope joints too.
Yeah, but a lot of the ones that we're talking about here with Clint Eastwood, he directed them. You know, so that. You take those.
Ralph is right. He did. Yeah. A lot of those westerns he did direct himself.
Yeah.
How many westerns are you gonna win against? E.T.
Well, hell. Unforgiven alone, and I think one of those spaghetti. He did do one of his spaghetti westerns. one of his westerns, other he like Pale Rider. I think
Phone home.
There you, Ralph. You just hit it right on the head. You ain't got to say nothing else. It's two of them.
Pale Rider,
and High Plains. Pale Rider and High Plains. Pale Rider and High Plains Drifter. Those two alone, it's a wrap.
Well, we're still on the actors, so. But it's not bad to put Harrison Ford against Clint Eastwood.
It would be good.
Not bad.
It would be good
because Harrison Ford got his share of character as well. He has Han Solo. He has Indiana Jones. He also has the character from you know what I'm talking about the character from those novels,
Runner?
Clear and Present Danger.
No. He has two. He has Clear and Present Danger. Then he has the one a doctor. What's his name?
That was only one film, though. That's not a series, but yeah, right. But still, the films that he did, the Jack Ryan, Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Yep, Jack Ryan.
You know what I'm saying? So he definitely that's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion, Miguel.
But it would be hard. It is a good suggestion, but the matchup of the movies would be a little bit harder, just because of because of the time periods. And for me,
it's really nobody around that's still around as long as Clint Eastwood was around.
Yeah.
Only one person. That's Robert Redford. That's the only guy I really think that's still alive. You can match Clint Eastwood up against is him. Yeah. Everybody else from that time
around
period,
the same age.
Right. Mostly of the actors from that time period have either retired or have passed away.
If you did Robert Redford, you would have to go with Michael Douglas to go against him.
Well, Michael Douglas has been around a long time too. Believe it or not, he's actually closer. That's a good one too for Clint Eastwood too, because he's at. You say Kirk Douglas, okay? But Michael Douglas has been around for a while.
Michael Douglas would be a good matchup for Ford. I mean, the two of them would be
Harrison Ford. Yeah,
I think that's a real good matchup.
Yeah,
that would be good. Well, we'll make the decision in the next day or so, and we'll come back and we'll do another versus. It's time. I've been holding off with Denzel.
We did Denzel.
We didn't do Denzel.
Did we do Denzel? I thought we did Denzel.
No, we didn't do it yet. I always mentioned it, but we never did it.
We talked about. I know what you're thinking about, Ralph. But we were talking about. Somehow we were talking about Denzel.
Because actually, what gave me one of the ideas was Denzel. Someone had already did one. They did that's what kind of gave me the idea as well. They had Denzel versus Sam Jackson. Yeah, Denzel Washington movie. Sam Jackson movies. Yeah. Sam Jackson. But we go after we're done with this.
I think Denzel gonna beat his ass personally. I'm sorry.
After we're done with this, we gonna come back around and do 6 Degrees of Sam Jackson. All right.
But you know, I mean, Denzel beating Sam Jackson, I was saying, would it really be a win? Yeah, it'd really be a win for Denzel. I think hell, it might be a shutout. It might be a shutout. It might be.
I think a better balance would be Samuel L. Jackson versus Lawrence Fishburne, and even that's a close one because Lawrence Fishburne got some stuff under his belt too.
I'm saying Samuel L. Jackson versus Kevin Bacon.
Because they've both been in a lot of movies with a lot of different people. They've been in a lot of different movies,
well, there you go. That could be your 7 degrees.
That could be the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon and Sam Jackson, right? Because 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, I'm very good at that game. I was one of the best. I was shout out to my girl Emily Thompson. She used to call me. This girl because we used to work at Sam Ash Music together. That girl would call me up at 3 a.m. trying to stump me on 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Now, connect. I connected Shaq one time. She was like, connect Shaq. Connect. She's trying all these different people to connect Kevin Bacon. I connected Michael Jackson to Kevin Bacon. It's like, and I did it in 3 steps because Joe Pesci was in Moonwalker. I did it in 2 steps. It was like Joe Pesci and Moonwalker, and then he was in with JFK with Kevin Bacon. It's like, They're like, oh my god. So yeah, that was funny. She used to call him.
Kev, me and Wes was talking about this a couple weeks ago. We was saying, I keep calling him Rayon Lawrence. Like this, we were talking about Kevin Bacon. That he's connected to Kevin Bacon.
We connect Rayon to Kevin Bacon. Rob Riley both of them were in the trade-off. Plus Rob Riley was, in other films. Rob Riley was in the Bourne movie with
movie. That's right.
Yeah, he was in the Bourne movie with Jeremy Renner. You know what I mean? And all the people that was in Bourne. Plus he was in a couple other movies too with some cats. He was in that movie with he was in a few movies. So yeah, we could connect Rayon to him. Yeah, connected Rayon. Yeah, man.
And Rayon was in that TV show too. Rayon started in that TV show too.
Well, the TV show, but even the film, Rayon was in a couple of films that connected him too. I don't remember which one that I ended up saying.
I think. Oh yeah, we said he was in Barbershop.
Yeah, Barbershop. The Next Cut or whatever.
The Next Cut. Who was in that with
Queen Latifah?
With Ice Cube, who was in Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah, which connects him to Kevin Bacon because he's in Beauty Shop.
Right. Yeah, it was with that. And plus, Queen Latifah, was she in one of those barbershops? She's in
the second one. She's in the second one.
So you can still connect her through there because Ice Cube was in the second one. He was in all the barbershops. So yeah, we did it through that. We connected Rob. We connected a lot of people, man. Shit. I said you could connect me to Kevin Bacon because my feet at least appeared in the trade-off.
Oh, that's right.
My only appearance in any film that I've ever directed, and because I made it a point. I'm not that type of director. I don't want to appear in my film. The only time I ever appeared in a film was
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm connected
because I had to.
Well, now that I think about it, I'm connected because I got it's a non-signal role, but I'm in Playing Dirty, right? Which Rayon is in, so yeah, I'm cousin Kevin Bacon. Plus,
we're all connected.
We're all connected. That means we're all connected to Kevin Bacon. So there you go.
What's up, Kevin? Where's my check? Man?
Everybody. So there you have it. That's our show for the evening. We thank everybody for hanging out and listening to the show. Once again, Tom Cruise in a rout of the win, and next week we're gonna go. Next week we're going to figure out who we're gonna do, bring it to the table, and have some more fun with that. We'll probably unpack this Cleopatra thing again. I'm gonna get Kev some Xanax.
Yeah. Yo,
it's some metformin.
Damn, man.
Keep the blood sugar level down. Give him some metformin. So
just give him a cookie. Just give him a cookie.
No, that's gonna push it up. We want to keep it down.
Yeah, that's gonna push it up. You can keep it down and really
keep it down.
I need some amlodipine, some wine.
Yeah, amlodipine.
I started on TV today that amlodipine. I was like, really? There's a powder that you could take in water to make you calm. Like, wow.
Yeah,
man,
science has advanced itself.
Oh,
but you still don't have.
It slows down. The common
cold. Mm-hmm. But you still don't have something for the common cold.
Slows down your pulse. Yeah.
The common cold is just a common cold. There's nothing you can do about that, man.
Well,
hey, Star Trek, they give you hypo spray. It just goes and it's all done. Like, come on.
we got it. So there's a lot of people left to do in the verses. I can't think of it right now because we're gonna end the show up. But
I still think the main one is I think will be the hardest is Tom Hanks versus Meryl Streep. I think that's one. That's
Yo,
the only person.
That's
the one
funny that
right
we
there.
have to. That's funny that we have to match Mel Streep up with a dude. It's like there's no female that will legitimately
But you know what?
beat her.
But honestly, and not to stretch out the show, but honestly, you really could do. We actually should. That's how we should be doing it. We shouldn't be matching up female or female or male or male. It should be actor to actor. That would make this a lot more. I see why we do it, because especially with some of the female films, because of how they, because of the similarities in the film.
Yeah,
so
what I try to do with them is to see. Yes, I mean we're gonna have to do some cross, what's it called, co-ed versions of it. Probably Meryl would be our first.
versus Tom Hanks would be. So Meryl Streep versus Tom Hanks would actually be a good one. That would actually be a good one, because
that'd be interesting.
That is stuff under.
That's a lot. That's a lot of catalog. That's gonna be a tough one to nail down the 20 films, and they got a lot under their catalog. But that's the whole point of
that one would have
verses,
to be
right?
a 25.
That one would
have to be
or maybe 24 to make it even, just in case is a tiebreaker. We'll do 24, and we'll go from there. But all right, so that's cool. I'll look into that, and we'll bring it on back. Thanks once again for everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Miguel, thanks for coming through. Shannon, thanks for coming through. We appreciate you. Check us out next week if you have the time. Maddie, of course, always holding it down. Joseph holds it down. We appreciate y'all 100%. We'd like you to come back and check us out next week when we do our thing. All right, everybody. I'm signing off for the rest of the Jedi Council. Everybody have a good night.
Stop hating Cowboys.
And stop hating on the Lakers. Stop hating on LeBron James, man. The King, right. Goat James.
Ooh, Washington.
All right, y'all.
Ooh, Washington. See, Dallas fans doing the most. The guy who's doing the most.
He said,
always doing
Washington.
the most.
Ooh, Washington. All right.
This is why.
Note,
This is why Dallas fans.
We going with this. Good night, everybody.